Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Let's get started. Okay. Okay. Wait, who? Okay. Well, it looks like it's telling me that we have to go back through a whole bunch of the stars and places that I've been through. Okay. Wait, why am I up here? Loot? Loot. Let me go. No! Screw off. Return to the ship. Okay. Actually, hang on. No. Foulstone. Oh. The Ordo Xenos punitive unit, led by Acolyte Lynette Zhu, has arrived on Janus. Inquisition forces have already taken control of the governor's palace and intend to deal with the anomaly on Janix. Oh! What think my officers and advisors? Cooperation with the Inquisition would do it more good than trying to hide the current misfortune of the colony. I can send them a message to keep us informed, but the interrogation is a favor. How much did the Inquisition sniff out? Initial interrogations have set Lynette Zhu on the tracks of the wretches towards the anomalous region, but her people do continue to dig deeper. Well, crap. I have to let them do their job. After Lady Zhu had set up her headquarters at the governor's palace, she began to investigate the situation on Janus. All those feeling guilt for their crimes for the Emperor could only stay silent and pray. During her investigation, Lady Zhu had been able to establish that the genetic changes of the organisms of the sickly creatures have been caused by the effects of the mysterious substances secreted into the water by the Xeno obelisk. The substances did not contaminate the water until recently, as shown by the analysis of the microbiologists. The same Xeno obelisks appear to be linked to the chain of energy communications, also serving as a source of unknown radiation that seemed to have caused the outbreak of contaminated growth in the currently uncontrolled sector of the planet. This also seems to be causing the appearance of the mysterious phantoms. Lady Zhu suggests that there is some sort of ancient mechanism construction located on Janus that has awakened from a slumber, and the anomalies occurring on Janus have been caused by the blasphemous machine trying to start itself. Your Lordship, a monstrous storm has broken out on Janus. The apocalyptic anomalies are tearing our agri-world apart, and the epicenter is in the desecrated sector. Something must be done before the whole colony is destroyed. We have to find the solution to this madness. Alright, calm down and report exactly what's happening there. The fires in the sky that crash on the ground and turn everything around them to ice, the moaning earth, the deadly sound has... The fires in the sky that crash on the ground and turn everything around them into ice, the moaning earth, the deadly sound careening through the cities. The purple glow in the sky. The furious storm has covered half the continent, but we can see its epicenter from the orbit. The ruins of the Xenostructure complex. What we thought to be the debris of buildings turned out to be a machine. And now it rouses from its sleep, shining the blue and purple lights from the spheres melded onto it. The deadly spirits have become more material. The deadly spirits have become more material, and now everyone can see that they are not dancing, they are fighting. Fighting and chanting two names, Halcyon and Kessie. Thankfully, there are much less of them than there were before. Gaps have even appeared in the horrifying cyclone of dance and twisting about the epicenter. Oh, what do we know about it? Leader of the Inquisition squad, Lady Zhu, did not grace us with a full report since she has been hastily preparing for the expedition into the heart of the anomaly. But she mysteriously claims that we have become witness to an ancient clash between Xenos, and in spite of our unfamiliarity with conflict, it is important to choose our ally in the struggle wisely, whatever that means. Some wretch by the name of Keg has come out of the thicket to meet the people. It's hard to understand him, but he has managed to explain to the soldiers that Halcyon and Kessie are fighting. Halcyon and Kessie are fighting. Halcyon in its usual way, and Kessie in a wrong, corrupted way. It seems that he wants to collaborate with us and is trying to ask for help. Alright, have this wretch Keg lead my soldiers into the forest. We are ready to cooperate. The escort squad reports that the mutant has not deceived them, from what they can tell, and that route is clear of anomalies. Our people have reached the Xenos ruin that once served as either a palace or a gargantuan machine. They have encountered an extremely high concentration of spirits. It appears the spirits are fighting amongst themselves with two particularly vivid ghostly figures among them. One of these prominent spirits radiates blue light and seems to be clad in Eldari armor. The other is engulfed in purple flames and clad in The other is engulfed in purple flames and clad in a Xenos ceremonial raiment. They utter sounds reminiscent of Eldari speech, but any attempts to translate them have proved unsuccessful thus far. It is an old dialect from a time before the fall. Order warriors to aid the spirit wreathed in blue. It fights through the Lilithans' purity against the despicable sorcery. Even an echo of the spirit's voice is enough to understand that its cause is just. I can teach your people how to explain to the blue spirits that they are not their enemy. What does it matter that the spirits are babbling about? They both must be slain. At Vater, turn your warriors and inspire them to fight for their home to the very last. They have made sacrifices to get this far. Yeah, no, I am not fucking around with shit like this. That entire world is artificially made. The scouts attacked and destroyed the purple spirits one after another. The blue phantoms recognized the new allies and did not harm them. Once the battle was over, the dignified spirits swathed in blue flames reached out to the scouts' thoughts, granting them visions. The planet, which was inhabited by Eldari prior to the fall, at some point became one of the many theaters of war between sensual excesses, the dogma that reigned over the Xenos at the time, and aesthetic self-restraint. A local ruler, Kessie, was enlightened and wise, yet susceptible to depravity. In his desire to transfer his soul to another form of existence, he created a mechanism that would let him take over the bodies and minds of all his people. One of the ruler's bodyguards, named Halcyon, rose against the tyrant and mortally wounded him, but could not stop him from merging with the machine. Halcyon then gave his life to bind his own spirit to the device and continue fighting therein. This tragic conflict marked the end of all Eldari on the planet, but preserved an echo of their souls and their leaders. God damn! Then the spirits disappeared, but for how long? The bodies of the fallen and strange relic discovered amid the ruin were only proof that for a single day, Janus was once more engulfed in a war between long-fallen Xenos. Oh, I can totally get that. Alright, I need to go to Veavos 4. I have a profit factor of 140. Alright, well, we'll start that. Foulstone. Missionaries. Perfect. Kibagawa. Oh, yeah. I don't know when I got 17 mechanisms. I remember I was short, but yeah. I'll take a +4 profit factor, thank you. Koronus. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, this is just... Yeah, this is just... Here. Have whatever the fuck you want. What... Oh. Gotta keep an eye out for adamantine. Uh-oh. The colony was hit by scrap code brought to the planet by the envoys of the Call to the Final Dawn. I mean, I don't think I can get any higher. Penal Battalion. Wow. I am actually low on adamantine, so yeah. Pop that sucker. Alright, so what do I need to do next? Well, this is gonna hurt. Huh. Oh, Drukari Xenos. Okay. Could be worse, could be better. Cabela. Oh, crap. I made a whoopsie. And I'm stuck here. Okay.
What torments you?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's Terrifying Strike, which is not there. I already have that feature. Okay. Weapon skill, please. Yes. And Death in the Air. Okay. And base skill Medicaid. What? Oh, more Medicaid. Base skill Medicaid. Right. Alright. Okie dokie, boys and girls. Let's,
Follow my lead!
move it on. I think I've been here before. I have been here before. I have been to this exact loading bay before. I think it's a loading bay.
Nothing escapes my sight. Just as he ordained. Pay attention.
Broken captive. Okay.
Dark, human scum! You will fall!
My Auspex has detected something.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around. If I may.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
I'll do it.
battlefields are
Go get 'em,
always
Argenta.
drowned in scarlet.
Sorry, Cassia.
Isn't this a job for another foe painted black?
Okay. That was mildly unexpected.
In thy light I stand, and thy light I crave. As the Emperor commands, I work his will. Never doubt me. God Emperor, move through me. Be the fire in my heart. I will not. Guided by faith.
Quick, quick!
Look
This
out.
way! Emperor, protect me!
I don't know, should I put Abelard in front? I should. Abelard, do it!
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones.
Do it, Abelard. You know your calling.
At your beck and call. It will be done. That's not the Seneschal's job. I took care of this.
I'll do what it takes.
Don't touch me.
It's nothing.
Oh, look.
Death comes in silence. Fortune smiles on us. An ill omen. Trust me.
Incoming.
Now, the other side awaits. There is only death. Yours or mine. I would that I could. A dance of blades and shadows.
Oh, they changed the ability. Okay. So it used to be Carnival of... Okay, so they changed Carnival of Misery. It must have been too overpowered. Carnival of Misery, when you used it beforehand, it used to just inflict dots to everyone in combat. But apparently it doesn't do that anymore. Music?
I shall not fear.
All right, Seth, get your booty in there.
Suits my purpose. I'll bring glory to my bloodline. Let's see how they respond to this. All too easy. Watch and learn. Nothing of value has been lost.
I don't want to sound, you know, ungrateful, but
Just as I was taught.
considering the fact that, ooh, a toxic knife. Yeah, sure, always add to the car. Okay. I don't know, I just felt like that was a bit too easy. Oh well. Yes, I would like to leave. Well, good. At least we're down from deadly to dangerous. Vehabos 4. Lord Captain, we've arrived at Phaton 4 system. Our translation of the warp was a little rough. A net loss of 500 souls on the middle and service decks, and the God Emperor only knows how many wounded. But that's only half of it. Brain boxes on the augers are sending me reports that aren't doing my moon any favors. Real space here's got more holes in it than a sieve. Real space here's got more holes than a sieve, and our sensors are playing up. It's gotta be sorcery, Lord Captain. Cool. If I was you, Lord Captain, I'd do what I came here to do, right sharpish, and clear out while we still can. I've seen the likes of this before in the same region. Maybe our sorcerers will be able to explain it better, but here's what I know. Shit like this never ends well. I like it. Shit like this don't end well. I respect that opinion. You know what? I'll take that. The surface of the star shimmers with a myriad of hues. The dance of colors fascinates any who dare glance at it. The playful colored patterns appear on the vessel's augurs in a wide array of spectra, from infrared to ultraviolet. Every voyageman knows that such emissions are dangerous to organic matter, and Master Helmsman Ravor asks the crew to resist the desire to admire the star. Not everyone manages to follow the advice, and some crewmen suffer from nausea and headaches. Yeah, shut those, please. I'm good. Let's go take care of those unknown ships.
I lift up my voice in prayer for this vessel and its hallowed guns.
Oh joy, it's the Drakari. Oh shit, I'm gonna have to deal with the cruiser.
Leave their hull strewn across the stars!
Game, please.
Torpedoes locked! Fire the lance batteries! The time has come.
Fire the bombers! Eh?
Another salvo! Bleed them.
Get him.
Leave their
No
hull
boarding actions.
strewn across
What
the
a shame.
stars! Onward!
Holy crap, they got absolutely butt-fucked.
Another salvo!
That was a bad place to park thine earth. Cute.
Fire the lance batteries.
Thank you.
Fit for the Fon Phalancius annals.
Let's go down. Okay, I do not need Abelard. And I want to take Earliet because I need my frontliner. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All out and Blade of Light. Okay. Ah. Okay, so I really want to get him the... By the way, was I doing the... No, I was just doing the regular build for Earliet. So the last thing I gave her was Dance Macabre. So she gets Ambush and Grenadier. Okay. Yeah, that works. That works. I like that formation.
It's about time.
I am satisfied with your performance for the maintenance rights on your equipment, although some of your prayers are unfamiliar to me.
They are rites performed by the Imperial Knight pilots of my
Ooh,
world.
he
I
comes
must
from...
commend you on the delicacy with which you expressed your suspicion that I was deviating from dogma.
Victory awaits.
Oh man, that would be so cool if you could get an Imperial Knight.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
I get it. I was being silly. The sentry rubs her eyes and gawps at you. One half of her face is covered with a bulky, rusty augment of... What? One half of her face is covered with a bulky, rusty augment of unknown purpose. You came. You came to rescue us. Praise the God Emperor, it reached you. The sorcerer's message reached you like him. Sorry. The sorcerer's message reached others like him. May he rest in peace. We are most honored by your presence. Please come forward quickly out of the darkness. The woman hurriedly checks a nearby lumen, her hands visibly shaking. Those creatures come from the dark, but not for much longer. Not for much longer. And now you're here. Mistress Lichtenhart has already found a way to help us. Heinrich dourly listens to the sentry's speech. He takes a few steps forward and intently peers at her face as the woman herself freezes in fear. Then Heinrich scowls and cuts a glance at you. We need to hurry. Examine her face. The woman lurches backwards under your scrutiny. Her eyes are red and swollen, and there are dark circles under them, suggesting a long run of sleepless nights. What a stroke of luck. It seems we have already found who we are looking for. You mean Mistress Lichtenhart, my lord? We wouldn't have survived without her. It just so happens that she was here at a local excavation when the monsters started appearing. We've been losing contact with the other sites on the planet since then, like candles being snuffed out, one after another. The rest of them must have all perished, but we are still here, holding on. Alright, what's happening? It's terrible, my lord. I don't even know how to describe it. It's been, what? How long has it been? A few months, probably? A few months of being plagued by these sorcerous beasts. As soon as night fell, they came, creeping right out of the shadows. Black as soot, there's no stopping them. The only thing that's worked so far is keeping the fires burning and maintaining a constant watch, and even that, the creatures drag us off in ones and twos the second we drop our guard. Sorcerous creatures from the shadows? Could they be demons? That would explain the presence of warp anomalies in the systems, a local breach. Alright, I wish to see her. Mistress Lichtenhart is inside the pit. You go in, don't be afraid. She will be there to properly greet you. We'll stand guard. Thanks be to the Emperor for delivering us.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Of course I'll go into the pit, but first I'll steal your shit.
Operation successful.
Chill, where's it come from? Oh, what are those things?
I'll wipe you from the face of the galaxy.
Mandrakes? I have not actually heard that before. 1 second. Rogue Trader. Mandrakes. Huh. A mandrake is a foul humanoid creature who was once one of the Drakari of Komarog that lurk within the darkest corners of the Webway's labyrinthine confines. Its name is a translation into the Imperial Low Gothic of a word in the Aldari lexicon. The mandrakes can be found... So what do they do? Oh. Others hold that the living shadows are descended from a forbidden Aldari pleasure cult that found its own way to escape the devastation of the fall, fleeing into the nightmare dimension of shadow within the Immaterium, and re-emerging as something no longer quite natural. I see. Well, that was interesting. Alright, so. Okay. Mm-hmm. I mean, They don't seem that nasty, but we will find out in a second.
I am a navigator, not a servitor. I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
Nothing I can't do. Suits my purposes.
Follow my lead.
Power resides in the will of the righteous. I'll do it. This is why I was chosen. None can escape the Emperor's judgment. This is why I was chosen. Faith without deeds is worthless. I'll do it.
For now.
You will perish for this affront.
Curse you, miscreant!
Where is Pascal?
Activate calculated fury algorithm.
Somehow he got stuck in the door. I accept that. Pascal kind of seems like the guy to get stuck in a door.
I won't object to it.
But of course, Lord Captain. The Emperor is on our side.
I won't object to it.
Reading damage to bulk.
Pay with your blood in the name of Kalamensha Kane!
Good shot there.
I am not your zenith.
Well done, Elliot.
Not a problem for me. Already done.
Emperor, protect me.
My reckoning will be swift.
If I may,
Well, that's not.
Cleanses the body.
me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
As the Emperor commands, I
What the hell? Argenta, what the fuck was that?
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury. I'll do it.
No! Kane! God damn it.
Request.
I'm not injured. I'm enraged.
Running binary override.
For the throne, the Inquisition sends their regards.
Let's see to it. I won't object to it. Naturally.
You will pay an even greater price.
My
I deal death with
shall
my hands.
become like fire.
If I must. No weakness is hidden from my sight. Kemorak!
Suits my purposes. Nothing I can't do. Suits my purpose. There's no way. You didn't stand a chance! My time is now! Never wavered in the face of adversity. Nothing of value has been lost. Already done. Suits my purpose. Watch and learn. I'll pass. There's nowhere. Opposing me was your
Yeah.
biggest mistake.
That was a fucking heroic moment right there.
None shall stand in my way.
Back inside we go. Argenta said the Omnissiah is a false god. Yeah! I mean, it depends on what part of the... there are some Sisters of Battle who believe that the Omnissiah is just a guise of, or like one of the many versions of the God Emperor. And therefore, technically, it's perfectly fine to worship him. It all depends on where you go. Like Caiaphas Cain, for example, believes that, I think Caiaphas Cain sort of straddles the line. Sometimes he says the clockwork, God Emperor, and then sometimes he says he's not convinced. I know Amberley, for example, says, isn't it time that the Ordo Hereticus looked into the Cult Mechanicus?
Done. Follow my lead. We need
Damn
to...
it! It's a Vox liturgy twisted by warp sorcery. Try not to listen too closely.
May the hearts of the faithful not be daunted by the vile speeches of the foes of humanity. May our faith be strengthened in the face of all corruption and foulness.
I should have brought my warp expert, because I don't have her on hand. But that would have meant giving up early. The stooped figure draws back the hood of the grimy robe, revealing the emaciated face of a woman. Her skin is stretched and taut over a skull in sickeningly protruding augmentations, and her cheek is marred with several open wounds. She looks at you with a feverish gleam in her eye. The visual description matches Interrogator von Kalox. The sage blinks several times, and her head twitches. You made it here after all. Heinrich's usual mask of stoicism has melted away without a trace. He stares around him in undisguised dismay. Amelia, what is this? You're performing the arch-enemy's rituals? But, no, stop, right now. Not another move unless I tell you. The sage draws herself upright as far as her crooked spine will allow, and flicks several switches on her facial augmentations, and she turns to you. Ignoring Heinrich's words completely, who have you brought with you, Interrogator von Kalox? Clearance level? I am Seth von Valencius, rogue trader and the God Emperor's anointed. Von Valencius, a rogue trader dynasty, territory to the galactic west of Furibundus. The head of the dynasty, Theodora von Valencius, has been flagged for her heretical sentiments. Threat level! Heinrich gestures at the room. I brought the help you requested in your message, Emelina. A void ship under the aegis of the rogue trader. I dragged thousands of people and megatons of plasteel and ceramite through the bowels of the warp, and for what? To discover that you have sold yourself to the arch-enemy? Emelina shakes her head. You are drawing conclusions based on incomplete knowledge of the situation, Interrogator von Kalox. Your judgment is impaired. Heinrich, why is Emelina addressing you in this strange manner? I expect that Emelina has chosen to seal the memory block containing data of a personal nature. She does this whenever she is concerned that someone might try to extract information on Calcazar's coterie from her. Heinrich thinks for a moment, and then, in a clear voice, says, Sigma Prosperity. He pauses before repeating the strange phrase. The reminiscence block you are attempting to access is repurposed. It now contains knowledge of the rituals performed by the shamans of this place. My standard working memory alone was insufficient to record all the nuances I uncovered here in my research. Heinrich looks as though he's been punched in the gut. Emelina, you deleted all the data about the members of Calcazar's unit? You wiped us all? Of course not. I retained the portion of the reminiscence data related to the operational significance of the Lord Inquisitor's unit. That's how I was able to recognize you, Interrogator von Kalox. Alright. So what's happening here? I came here on the supreme directive of the Lord Inquisitor. An Adeptus Historica mission was established on Photon 4 to study the origins of the civilizations that once inhabited this planet. This world was once settled by humans. The mission aimed to discover which colony ship they came from and why they disappeared. The traces of ancient culture uncovered in the layers of the soil suggested the existence of primitive solar faiths among the dark inhabitants of this world. Faiths that are strikingly similar to the worship of the arch-enemy. Their surviving scrolls indicate that the shamans used the gifts of chaos to protect their people, to secure the harvest, to imbue their warriors with strength and vitality, and this culture persisted for thousands of years. I was cataloging the data when the attacks began at one remote outpost. I immediately recognized the enemy by their tactics, the Drukari. They chose an unremarkable, defenseless world where night lasts half the year. By the time 5 outposts had been swallowed by the darkness, the last astropath had been torn to pieces, and many calls for help sent to Calcazar's unit had gone unanswered. I realized that no one was going to save these people, or this knowledge. And so I put the knowledge to use for the good of humanity. That explains what we saw on the way here. Emelina glances at you, but cannot bring herself, or does not consider it necessary to ask you to elaborate. Your influence has made Heinrich more merciful. I'm sorry I asked. But what are you trying to do here, Emelina? The ritual was interrupted. What was it supposed to do? The ritual we interrupted. What was it supposed to do? Emelina lifts her gaze upwards. I will rid this world of its half-year-long night. And the mandrakes of their total advantage over us, I will force a new heavenly body, this one of human making, to rise above the horizon and illuminate the dark side of the planet. If the ritual works, I will have mastered the secret to forging a new... Oh boy. That is, yeah. This is madness. Madness, pride, and monstrous, staggering heresy. Heinrich's voice is barely audible, as if his throat is closed up in shock. What happened to the people of this world? All of the survivors here in this tunnel. Oh, sorry, all the survivors are here in this tunnel. The rest are dead. Or worse than dead, they are in the clutches of the monsters from Kamarag. Our last astropath died when his mind was invaded by a warp entity. It used his psi trail to hunt him down. The rest of the people here have been blessed with the protection of those forces that I summoned to our aid. Oh, crap. God damn it, woman, what have you summoned? The chapel with the demented Voxcast. What the hell is going on there? Emelina bows her head, a side experiment, a way for exhausted and frightened people to find comfort in a higher power. However, I had the services stopped. Several people succumbed to the pernicious influence of the atmosphere and went insane. But the people blamed it on the voices from the Vox. Alright, do you mean to say that you've discovered a ritual for creating a sun here? Buried under silica and granite are knowledge and resources that could repel the enemies of humanity. We are too afraid of anything labeled prohibited. My memory contains thousands upon thousands of pages from manuscripts, tomes, and scrolls. Contact with any one of these is supposed to guarantee instant death, but the preachers who claim these are liars. I am living proof of their falsehoods. Well, true, immediate death is not happening, but I guarantee you when I, cut your head from your shoulders, that'll be death. This is enough. Heinrich's voice shakes with bridled fury. I've heard all the justifications and complaints 100 times before. No purpose can justify what you brought here. Who you have become. Who I have become, Interrogator von Kellox. I am what any agent of the Golden Throne is predestined to become if they are able to see through to the essence of things. I have, as the Puritans say, succumbed to the heresy of radicalization. Moreover, in doing so, I am only following in the footsteps of our mentor. The only difference is I have chosen a path of the ablationists, while he chose the Xenos Hebrews. But 1 second, I need to look that up. Because while I do know a significant amount of the Inquisition, I do not know Warhammer 40k ablation. Oh, okay, ablationist. I am damned. It is a truth that I cannot escape. It is the greatest pain I have ever borne, but it is also the truest sacrifice I have ever made in the service of the Emperor and the Imperium. Okay. Born in the fires of the War of Brass that racked the Calixtus sector in the late 40th millennium, the ablationist radical faction of the Inquisition is an oath-sworn society of bitter fanatics who wield warp-forged weapons, bind daemons, and command the power of sorcerers with a self-hating fury that sees all of the Inquisition but their own creed as utterly impure, corrupt, and deserving of destruction. Their infamy long outstripping their numbers, the notorious ablationist inquisitors and their trusted servants have determined to sacrifice themselves in the cause of the protection of the Imperium, regardless of the cost. Consumed with vengeful wrath and fanatic certainty, they gather profane artifacts, hoarding forbidden knowledge, and wield powers of the warp while tolerating no others using such methods. Their intolerance of all other radicals has much in common with most puritanical factions. They believe that only other ablationists may wield the weapons and knowledge of the enemy and remain true in the service of the God Emperor. They are unbending in their belief and ruthlessness in all aspects of its application. Oh. So these guys are basically just... Well, yeah, these guys use chaos to fight chaos, which actually, believe it or not, is effective. Using chaos against chaos is an effective tool. Unfortunately, 9 times out of 10, it shortens your lifespan as an Inquisitor significantly. The only difference is that I chose the path of the Ablationists, while he chose the Xenos Hybris, forging an alliance with the cursed Drukhari. What an unthinkable accusations! The Lord Inquisitor in league with the enemies of humanity? That's what they say all Inquisitors end up doing in the end. I'd like Eisenhorn, I think. Yeah, it's either you stay a puritanical Inquisitor, or you eventually go radical and you start going woo off the rails. Sorry, Emelina, suppress your urge to debate internal matters in the presence of the Rogue Trader. Additionally, I will not tolerate insults to the Lord Inquisitor in my presence. The Xenos Hybris? Ablationists? I have no idea what these things are. They are the names given to philosophical ideas practiced by agents of the Golden Throne. They have nothing to do with the current actions are being driven by this philosophy, Interrogator von Kallax. Mine, yours, the Lord Inquisitor's. Why are you avoiding talking about the fact that Xavier Calcazar is a dangerous radical, no less dangerous than I am? Except I am not driven by utopian ideals, but by a desire to protect humanity using a broader range of tools. What you call a broader range of tools is heresy, Emelina. Unremarkable, commonplace heresy. Heresy that has taken on a twisted form in a mind subjected to prolonged contact with corruption. The archenemy has been gnawing at you from within, creating a star with a chaos ritual? You have crossed the line! No! You've obliterated the line! The line? Lines are for the weak and ignorant. Anyone capable of weighing the risks and making calculated decisions would have come to the same decision as me. To protect the Imperium's domain, to deliver a preemptive strike, even. Von Valencius, Emelina whips around to you. You are a simple mortal endowed with huge power and privilege, ruling over worlds and holding millions of lives in the palm of your hand. Tell me, would you have done the same in my position? I have no fucking clue what you've done so far. Nobody's explained dick to me. I'm just a layman. I would not have made the same mistake. Blinkered vision and narrow mind, a warrant of trade in the hands of such a person is a dangerous prospect indeed. Lady, I am a fucking commissar. The only reason I haven't blown your fucking heretical brains out is because, well, technically you're above my justice, and there's someone else here who can deal with you. Emelina shakes her head spitefully, her eyes filling with blood. The only one to answer my call, and you turn out to be a brainwashed pawn. I did not factor in the possibility of psychological dependence. Calcazar can be persuasive, especially to those who depend on him. A favorite sorcerer, a Kazbalican renegade. Oh yes, Interrogator von Kallax. Xavier Calcazar's stalwart little soldier. You will die, just like Tanakia. I'm glad I got that on the first pronunciation attempt. I was actually rather proud of myself there. Continue. Emilia Iona Lichtenhardt. Heinrich begins stiffly formal before breaking off. Tanakia? What do you know about Tanakia? Emelina shakes her head. You don't even know what fate befell her, do you? I suppose it won't hurt for you to know something of it. A strange sound causes the sage to fall silent. She turns to... Oh crap, what are we fighting now? They're coming out of the woodworks! The beasts, they're here. The ritual must be completed. The preparations must not go to what? We need to block all possible approaches. Light. We need light to dispel the shadows in the corners.
Feel my wrath!
Alright, let's do this shit. What do we got? Turn on the lamp. Okay, I see what we gotta do. This is gonna be a running battle. I wish I'd brought in, Cabela. I wish I brought in her. She moves quick. Alright, Seth, you go after that light. Argenta, you go after that one, and I will send Kalox with you. Heinrich. Erlietz, I need you to take up a sniper position. Cassia, take up a support position. And I think Pascal, just stay up here as well. I'll have those two go out and start motoring around.
I am a navigator, not a servitor.
Works for me.
Isn't this a job for the serfs? If I may?
As the Emperor commands, I act.
Hit as many of them as you can.
Doubt is for the weak. This is why I was chosen. Eradicated. This is why I was chosen. I refuse. I'll do it. I am
over the
his
limit.
will made manifest. Faith without deeds is worthless. I'll do it. For you, my Emperor!
That was not as good, but we'll take what we can get. Cassia, give a boost to Seth
I'm not
here.
accustomed to being ordered around.
I need a foothold.
Yeah, I knew he'd make it. I got him on dodge. Good.
Throne take you.
That's a good shot. Let's see if we can't clear out some of these guys down here.
I understand your intent. I am not your Xenos pet. Another soul slips
Good
beyond
shot.
the veil. This tedium is beneath me.
I must not falter.
You'll regret this.
My faith shields me.
Bad idea moving there, big
The
guy.
enemies of the Emperor will be undone. Doubt is for the weak. None can escape the Emperor's judgment. God Emperor, move through me. Be the fire in my heart. I'll do it.
Pop another clip in, please.
Moving out.
That was insulting.
Really? You shot me too?
The Omnicide venerates you, machine spirit. Request approved.
Almost had him there.
I feel the power surging. Let's see to it. I'll put my psychic abilities to use. For the throne's glory. Alas, no.
Oh, he burns! Nice! It's always fun when that happens. Oh, and I'll shoot Argent if I do that. Lovely!
I won't object to it.
Oh, right. What am I doing?
Let's see to it.
Just die.
Be gone.
Thank you.
My faith strengthens me for the glory. Weapon of the Imperium! Break them around. Nothing I can't do. All too easy. Suits my purpose.
I see! Okay, we're gonna have to keep people around those lights the entire time. That is most unfortunate. How many people do I got working the lights? Alright, Seth will go there. Argenta is going to have to get her ass down here. And Einrix is going to have to hold that one. Good to know. Oh, thank you. The encouragement is most appreciated.
Do not dare ask. Me? If you insist, Lord Captain. Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Already done. Watch out! You didn't stand a chance!
Okay.
I'll show you why navigators are feared.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate. Ooh. Ooh, I think I might. I think I might be having a little fun with this one. Get fooked.
This is why I teach strike is a prayer.
God, I love you, Argenta!
Faith without deeds is worthless.
Oh, yeah. And I'm not exactly playing on the most difficult setting here, so...
As the Emperor commands, I act. I'll do it.
Oh, yeah, I can see how. Like, if you don't figure out the mechanic quickly enough, or if you're even worse, if you're under-geared. Let's go do something a little cheeky here.
As duty demands.
Thank you.
Me?
Heinrichs, you're gonna need a little bit of a buff over there. And can I... No, I can't. Okay.
Onward! Follow my lead.
I know Seth can hold these guys on his own, but... It's gonna be painful. Alright. take the
Move as
chance.
if unseen. No weakness is hidden from my sight. I am not your Xenos pet monkey. If I understand your intent.
Follow my lead.
Nothing of value has been lost.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury. None can escape the Emperor's judgment. As the Emperor commands, I act. Each strike is a prayer.
No. Okay,
Doubt
Argenta,
is for
get
the
back
weak.
to the light post. Oh yeah, she is.
The enemies of the Emperor will be undone. Faith without deeds
Give
is
her another
worthless.
stack of the old added aim, added damage. Pascal, hang out right there. Heinrich, get around
Give
there
me a
and top
target.
that. Okay. And then Seth should have just enough movement to get down. Yeah, it's right there. And get this guy.
tactics are flawless.
Okay, now what? Was there any other lights that I needed to... Shoot, am I missing one? Okay, maybe I guessed the battle wrong. Is there something in here? I might have to check inside this room. Just a 3? Yeah, okay. So it means I've either... Okay. Ah! Okay, good. Emelina lets out an agonized moan. Wasted. All my work, all my preparation. All for nothing. Yeah. Yeah, bingo. Good one there, Bob. Emelina Iona Lichtenhart, in the name of the Inquisition, you are hereby removed from your post and expelled from the Holy Ordo. Heinrich's eyes are fixed on Emelina, but she does not look at him. Then the interrogator turns his gaze on you. The fate of its fallen members is a matter for the Ordo. Heretical archives, artifacts obtained in the excavation, and other assets of Lichtenhart's possession I hereby declare property of the Holy Inquisition. However, it is for the rogue trader to decide what becomes of Photon 4 and its people. What is your verdict? What would you advise me to do? This world has been compromised. Any attempt to assess the degree of corruption will necessarily be based on weak judgment, vulnerable to doubt and sentiment. I would get rid of this planet and its population. I agree. Everyone here has been exposed to chaos, and you do not fuck with chaos. Yeah, I don't care about the survivors. So be it, Lord Captain. Now, as for Emelina, you are hereby stripped of your special status as an agent of the Golden Throne and all attendant rights and privileges. I am authorized to use all interrogation measures stipulated in the standard framework for the information extraction to ascertain the fate of the Acolyte. Oh my god. Let me try that again. I am authorized to use all interrogation measures stipulated in the standard framework for information extraction to ascertain the fate of Acolyte Tanaka Kalbergan. I was so close. I was so close. Tanakia Kalbergaria. Will that be necessary, Emelina? No, Interrogator von Kalox. The sage's voice is scarcely louder than whisper. I have no intention of concealing what information you want. I'm almost certain that Tanaka Calburgaria was eliminated on the orders of Xavier Calcazar after being deemed a volatile element. Heinrich's face is a mask of disbelief and anger. You're lying. I have a rather unpleasant suspicion that the witnesses to this conversation are also at risk of being eliminated at a later date. Just listen in silence. I saw one of Calcazar's documents when I went to receive my new orders. Only a fleeting glimpse, but with my memory like a picked recorder, it was long enough for its contents to be imprinted on my mind. I do not know the details, but the document itself was an interrogation transcript, with a final annotation indicating the removal of that person from the retinue. And we both know how someone leaves the Lord Inquisitor's retinue, Interrogator von Galax. Oh, yeah. Tanaki is Lord Inquisitor's top espionage specialist. Whatever Xavier chose to refrain from making a public... Wherever Xavier chose to refrain from making a public show of strength, Calburgaria was invaluable. Why would he do this? Emelina looks up at Heinrich, her eyes full of despair. I do not know, Interrogator von Galax. Just as I do not know why the Lord Inquisitor sent me to this nondescript planet as soon as I voiced my concerns about his methods. Just as I do not know if I should blame the warp for the lack of responses to my calls for help, or if Calcazar prohibited the others from answering. The nature of her mission, and of Xavier's true purpose here in the Expanse, was likely why he chose to bury this secret, and Tanakia along with it. Emelina breaks off. The operational data indicates that you are the retinue's primary torture specialist, Interrogator von Galax. All this time, I thought you were the one who conducted Tanakia's interrogation. And one of the reasons why I destroyed my personal data block was to ensure that my own sentiments would not prevent me from thinking rationally when I next encountered you or Calcazar's other servants. Heinrich? Heinrich says nothing for several seconds, staring into space. At last, he begins to speak. Emelina Iona Lichtenhardt. I know, Interrogator von Galax. I know all the procedures used on compromised sages. Interrogation, unsealing of reminiscence blocks. But before we begin, she stands up, straightening her spine as much as she can, and looks into the interrogator's eyes with a weak smile. I thought Tanakia was your doing, but as your reaction has revealed the truth to me... Heinrich? It is Heinrich, yes? There's a subtle shift in Emelina's voice. She sounds older, wiser. You should know. I'm sorry I had forgotten you. Heinrich stares at the stage, saying nothing, then looks down and mutters something too quietly for you to hear. Thank you for your assistance in solving my problem, Rogue Trader. But why? Why don't you... Heinrich looks at you, his eyes dark and alluring. Why don't you answer that question for yourself? Because Emelina's knowledge is just like the archives you were planning to destroy. Coming into contact with it is too dangerous. A reasonable and balanced assessment, an excellent conclusion. Heinrich make no attempt to inject even the barest hint of conviction into his words. We are finished here. The planet will be designated unfit for further use. The risks are simply too great. It will take a few hours to deal with the excavation site with the diggers found here, but it will not delay us. When we return to the ship, find a minute to speak with me. Yay, more shit to sell. No, I am not taking people who are touched by chaos. I am sorry, big guy. You fuckers are on your own. I've got enough problem with chaos on my ship as it is.
A new chance.
Exactly, Bob. Exactly. Oh! You tried saving everyone? What happened? They eventually rebel against you or something? Okay. This guy, I don't know if you can see it, but when I was first... I can't get it to happen again, but when I was first right here, those pipes were overlapping with that void spinning arm, so it made it look like he had robot or augmetic legs. That was... threw me for a loop there for a second. I thought I had a droid on the ship.
Lord Captain, I thank you for your assistance with my mission. Thanks to rogue trader von Valancius, the Inquisition has stopped the enemies of humanity, even those hiding in its own ranks on this occasion. I will no longer be making any claim on your time or resources.
Everything about Emelina said about Calcazar. Should we be worried? No, this is the Inquisition. We should be worried. And the planet got taken over by the Chaos. Okay. Yeah, I could see that. And of course, if the planet got taken over by the Chaos Gods, that means that there is now a rogue planet flying around the galaxy that's a demon world. Because, of course, it's no longer locked in orbit around the sun, because the Drukhari stole the sun. So now it's fucked off and flying out somewhere else in the galaxy, and it's going to be turned into a demon world, which is never a good thing.
It is dangerous information, but you are already too deeply involved. In the Inquisition, there are two main philosophies: Puritanism and Radicalism. The adherents of the former are conservatives who strive to follow the letter of inquisitorial doctrine in all matters. The radicals are more pragmatic. They believe that the end often justifies the means, and they use tools that a Puritan would condemn as heretical.
Right.
Emelina used the powers of chaos to gain the upper hand against Xenos. I touched a cogitator built by cultists to learn its secrets. None of us is pure. Xavier. The craven-hearted say that the career of every Inquisitor ends in either death or heresy. The Lord Inquisitor has borne this burden longer than any of us. It would be naive to think that he had only ever used Puritan methods, and even more naive to suggest that such methods have in any way weakened his loyalty to the God Emperor. And that is all I will say on the subject.
Yeah, this is pretty much the same thing that they said in the Eisenhorn books. Not that I made it all the way through. I got to the third... So, I'm currently reviewing the... Just a quick aside. I'm currently reading through the Gaunt's Ghosts series, and I switched over to that after... well, I say reading, but I'm actually listening to the audiobooks. But I'm currently on Gaunt's Ghost, and I came to that after reading the Eisenhorn trilogy. And I don't know what it is, if it's the way Dan Abnett writes, but I find that unlike who's the author for Caiaphas Cain, like I remember one time I was buddy of mine had to go to the hospital, and he had to go in for a surgery. And I was basically sitting in the waiting room for, what was it, like 7 hours? 7, 8 hours? And I blasted through an entire Caiaphas Cain novel. I think it was Choose Your Enemies. Yeah, it was Choose Your Enemies. By the way, fantastic one. My favorite is still The Traitor's Hand. That one I like the best. But Choose Your Enemies was still fantastic. And I blasted through that in a single sitting, start to finish. But I find with Dan Abnett, I have to be very careful. Or not. I find I have to be. I have to portion out Dan Abnett's work. I just don't know what it is about. Maybe it's Toby Longworth, the guy who narrates the audiobooks. But I find that with Toby Longworth or Dan Abnett's work, I find that I have to take breaks. Otherwise, I just get to the point where I throw it all to the side and I'm like, I can't do this. And then it'll be like a month before I come back to the story. But yeah, I'm in, yeah. Sorry, random aside. I got sidetracked. All right, what are you going to do now that this is done?
I will remain part of your retinue. That will not change. I will continue to accompany you until I receive orders to the contrary from the Lord Inquisitor, if ever. Who knows? Perhaps one day my journey will end like Emelina's, but that day is not today.
Indeed. All right. All right, so before I still have to get through these guys, so I still got to figure out where the traces of the Gene Stealer cults are. Oh, wait, did I get new rumors? New rumors. The Cryo Vault Keepers. The Homunculus's Prism. Langren's Belt. I still have Eccentric Animal Lover? Really? God damn it. Any good contracts? Oh, screw that. I'm not giving up weapons. How many people do I have? 32? Unquenchable Greed. Oh, screw your provisions. I don't need those. I've got 50. Trading 7 people for 3 profit factor? If I have to, I will. I'm gonna hold off on those for a bit. They don't give me anything particular. Oh, I have to go talk to Nomos, don't I? The massive figure of the massive figure of Malak Eclipse. Sorry, the massive figure of the Malatek Asclepius is frozen before the cogitator in a praying pose. Without raising his head, he addresses you. I salute the ruler of the ship. I see you have found your great spirit, Asclepius. I found a miracle and the end of my worldly road. I have never seen and never will see anything more meaningful than the spirit of Nomos. In the face of its multitude, we are all nothing but fixed values of an erroneous function. And I'm still not convinced that Nomos isn't an AI. You read the databank recovered from Theodora's cache, and then you said the incident marked the beginning of Nomos. What did you mean by that? Yes, Nomos, remember. You brought us the data sustenance, and it contained a name, Epitaph. We recognized it. No, not like that. In that name, we recognize the place where Nomos originate. Okay. Nomos suddenly falls silent. Symbols race chaotically across the screens of the huge cogitator, and you hear an almost human groan come from the depths of the machine. Nomos, understand, realize, comprehend themselves. For a moment, there's silence, broken only by the moans of the huge machine, and then the cyber gargoyle begins to speak, and with it the other servitors chosen by Nomos. We have analyzed the data with which you have sated us. We have recreated the sequence of events. Oh, cool. First, oh, excuse me for a second. Okay, if I'm gonna sneeze, I need to sneeze. Don't just, oh, I hate it when that happens. It stalled out. Oh yeah, I can... I don't like that. Those look like horns to me. That kind of freaks me out. Alright, first there was Epitaph. It is a world, but it is merely a case. A container for something we cannot name and cannot understand. Theodora and the ship have been to that place. Something was lifted up from the world, a gift. A trusted priest in crimson, one who identified himself as Amarnat, comprehended the gift raised from the epitaph, and from it he created what the databank lists as a tech blight. Okay. But that is not how Nomos came into being. We were not invented. We were not freed. We came into being by accident. The chorus of servitors sounds genuinely confused, almost desperate. Theodora's ambition, the myriad mechanisms of the huge ship, Amarnat's mind, the inquisitive attempts to comprehend and extract, the dormant blight, the dormant epitaph, what lies hidden in its depths, and between it all we slipped in, connected, and merged like an electrical discharge between the poles. Accident. Incident. That is what we are. We have no purpose, no history. Nomos just are. Well, do you know where Epitaph is? You discovered the truth about Nomos. Oh, thank you. That data is gone, deleted, erased deliberately, but we cannot trace who did it or why. A tech blight. A gift, but a terrible one. You would call it a weapon. Theodora coveted it. She needed it desperately, but we do not know why. Alright. And how is Amarnath involved in this? He desired knowledge. Theodora allowed him to explore the gifts of Epitaph, slaking his thirst. But we did not bring it... Sorry. Man. But we know it did not bring him happiness, and the footprints of the slake... For God's sake, sneeze already! Where was I? Oh, he desired knowledge. Theodora allowed him to explore the gifts of Epitaph, slaking his thirst. But we know it did not bring him happiness. In the footprints of his slaked thirst, fear followed. The blessed Amarnat was involved in the birth of the spirit named Nomos. I do not believe for a moment that he could have been frightened by this miracle. No, Asclepius did that. It was not us he feared. He did not know us, but only suspected. His mental processes were occupied by the tech blight. That was what he feared. He wanted protection from it. Well, that's freaky. The ship was on Epitaph. Amarnat traveled aboard it, investigating a tech blight, and Nomos was born as a result of the incident. So how is it possible that no one in the crew knew the whole truth? The truth was hidden, deliberately. Your officers' memories were stolen. All the cogitator memory banks were wiped. It took you feeding us the truth, bit by bit, for us to piece it together and understand. Who has the resources, the knowledge, and the power to accomplish such a feat? And would it have been beyond the capabilities of the blessed... Oh, sorry, it would have been beyond the capabilities of the blessed Amarnat himself, and he would never destroy knowledge. This story disturbs me. It sounds like an echo of the sacrilege whose name is the preservation of ignorance. The spirit of Nomos must be protected from the encroachments of that power that tried to conceal the truth of its birth. Alright, enough about the past, let's talk about the future. You do, in fact, have a purpose, Nomos. Tell us, what is our purpose? I feel like that would really confuse him. And that would be funny to me. So let's go with number 2. To simply live. The chorus of servitors dutifully repeats the words, but seemingly without understanding them. Nomos is preoccupied. The huge cogitator continues to sing its creaking song, running unknown calculations. Blessed be the spirit. A great path and a great future lie before it, and we must assist it on its way. Cybergorgo's gaze tracks you as you walk away from the cogitator. Well, that's creepy. Alrighty then. So we got hunting grounds, The Lord Inquisitor and the Captain. The past we lost. Blood ties. The door. I still don't know about the door. Rat hunting. Yeah, and I still gotta work with Jai Hidari. Let's go talk with, Argenta.
Greetings. Of course, my mission is all I can think about.
Okay, so...
One day we will reach Salis Prime, and stand before the gates of Saint Argenta's ship. I know it. I believe.
I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe. Alright. Okay. Let's go talk to Abelard.
Lord Captain, allow me to express my gratitude once again for your assistance. If it weren't for your intervention, my entire family could have been executed on false charges. I could have lost them all. I never imagined the Versarians would be so vulnerable while I serve as seneschal to the Lord Captain himself, far from home. To tell you the truth, Lord Captain, this whole situation has got me thinking. As patriarch of the Versarian family, I have a responsibility to my bloodline. Yes, it is my duty to serve as seneschal to the rogue trader, and I have no intention of relinquishing that role if you find my service as satisfactory as did Lady Theodora. However, if I could be more involved in my family's affairs and still serve the von Valancius dynasty.
Of course, Abelard. But the one condition is that I still want to use your family against you to embarrass the living daylights out of you, because that is my favorite pastime.
Thank you, Lord Captain. Under my watch, the Trade Protectorate will remain safe and prosper in service to you. Well then, Lord Captain, it is time I return to my duties. Is there anything else I can do for you?
I must take my leave. Until next time, Seneschal. There needs
Lord
to be
Captain.
more Abelard content once we meet up with his family, because embarrassing Abelard in front of his family, or better yet, having Abelard embarrassed by his family and me encouraging it on, has got to be some of the best dialogue I've seen in the game. It brings a smile to my heart, watching as, you know, Abelard is just sitting there going, and comfortably going, oh, please, stop it! No, I'm not a sadist. You're a sadist. The paths we lost. Earliest. Oh, good. She's no longer standing between the two bridge officers. I was getting worried they were actually going to go through with spit roasting her.
The Dark City released us from its thorny embrace. The wounds of the body will heal. But what about the wounds of the soul? Kruderok fell, and its demise shattered the fragile lives of countless children of Osirian. Scattered across this part of the galaxy, hounded by the monkey, pursued by the Dark Cousins, imprisoned by the servants of She Who Thirsts. Hatred is strangling me like a snake, and fear is coursing through my body like a burning poison. For the path I chose is leading me down the roads of failure. I can neither hold back my grief, nor rein in my anger. And yet, I am powerless to stray from my path. Pay no heed to my fleeting wrath, Anantark. When the will slips away, the soul trembles with rampant emotions. But I will resign my heart to meekness, for there is no other way a marked outcast can help their fellow Eldari wandering in the dark.
Many terrible things happened in Camarade. Are you all right?
I found myself in the Dark City after following the twisted roads of truth and lies. And although the truth blossomed like an ugly bud and scratched my soul with its thorns, I did find the answers to my questions. Those who come back from the dark of the webway will never be the same. But it is we who change while the surrounding world remains imminent. This thought gives me strength.
Krudok suffered an unenviable fate. I'm sorry your world is lost.
I have no need for your sympathy, Elentark. Besides, neither Monkey nor my dark kin found the decaying remnants of Kruderok. Perhaps all is not lost.
Oh?
Perhaps we may yet bring back what has been taken.
Okay. So what will happen to the seer now?
Clendil chose to stay on the Lilithon together with Muaran and the rest of our kinsmen. Perhaps it is for the best. The stars in this part of the galaxy are hostile to the children of Asurian.
Okay. So where does the path of the outcast lead you now?
On the trail of a monkey called Caligos Winterscale. Even a worm may harm a wounded tiger by bringing infection into an open wound. And the wounds of my people have been bleeding ever since Kruderok's demise. The spirits of my kin need a poultice, a hope, not the executioner's sword already poised to fall.
What do you know that I don't? Maybe it's because I learned about it earlier, but okay. Rat hunting, that's Jai, the door, okay, so... Okay. Back up here. Oh, yes, I have to go to the Astropathic Choir. Cabelia! Oh my god, have I forgotten her name? Cabela. I don't need Heinrich, so we get Cabela. Yeah, Ulfar is funny. Let's bring him along. I'm not sure which Space Marine chapter I would have... You know, actually, no, I do know which Space Marine chapter I would have rather had in this game. I would have rather had the Celestial Lions. Not the oh god, not the Lamenters. There we go. My favorite Space Marines in order: the Lamenters, the Celestial Lions, and the Black Templars. Actually, no, I should say the Lamenters. The Lamenters used to be my the Lamenters used to be my favorite until GW basically couldn't think of anything special to do to them. And it's like, oh yeah, now you fall to the Red Thirst and the Black Rage again. Like, come on, they had a unique story, and now you're just making them like any other Blood Angel successor chapter. Come on.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Oh, I love the Celestial Lions because they just had the they are one of the few chapters who basically stuck up the middle finger to the Inquisition. Also, yes, as a child, I basically loved the Lion King, and let's face it, the whole inspiration for the Celestial Lions was the Lion King. Nobody can convince me otherwise. All right, how are your ghosts wise? The choirmaster looks away, embarrassed. The mistakes of the past no longer haunt me, not in my dreams or in reality, but I still remember. I remember every single one of them, and that's good. If you forgot them, that would be a sign of psychopathy. Alright, can you put me in a trance with Cabelia? Cabela! I need to get inside her mind. A synchronized trance is a complex telepathic practice. Things can go awry unless both participants trust each other and have a strong spiritual connection. However, I can sense that you do. I would be honored to be your guide during the ritual, Lord Captain. But remember, it's easy to get lost in another person's thoughts, and the fears of others house monsters. I'm a monster slayer at this point. Let's do it! I will stay in the chapel set to hold a vigil and prayer. May the Emperor help you return to this lost soul to the righteous path. May the God Emperor aid you, Lord Captain. Oh, okay. We're gonna do the book thing. Sector Koronus Expanse. Location on Valencia's flagship. Material: The Book of the Dead, the holy scripture of the cult of the blood-spun web. Author: unknown. A shackled mind cannot comprehend the wisdom contained herein. Therefore repeat, he is death. Release your breath with each word. Cleanse your thoughts. He is death. Truth lies in death. Free your soul from the body's cage. Become nothing. He is death. Now that your heartbeat is a perfect line and your vision is shrouded in dusk, you have almost reached a state of purity and balance. Heed. No human will see death before their time. That is the delusion of the living. Heed. To which we say, a strong spirit can travel there and make the journey back. Heed the tale of the great Daman Seth who descended into the kingdom of the Heed the tale of the great Daman Seth who descended into the kingdom of the dead to retrieve his shadow. Birth and death are one. We are snatched from place of warmth and sent blood-covered into an unfamiliar world. Dying is the same. The Daman, too, learned that this as he opened his eyes and found himself on the lower decks, lying in a cold coffin. He beheld his ship drifting through the nothingness, an adamantine giant's corpse, a skeleton moaning from the winds of entropy. A tempest of rust was gnawing at its plasteel bones, and twisting its vein-like cables, while the machine oil oozed down its bulkheads like lymph. Had the Daman been alone, he would have lost his way inside the ship's mangled bowels, but a guide reached out a hand to him. The spirit of old Veni Zachary had loyally followed the Daman to the other side. Which monster? Okay. I'm a little confused here. I don't understand the monster reference, but alright. I have a 100% chance to do this, so let's do it. The beast prostrated itself and began to tear its own body apart. For words of true faith pacify even the worst of evils with a sense of shame and self-loathing. And a card of his tarot appeared in the Daman's hand. It was the God Emperor. And the first doubt was dispelled. He is death. He is death. Veni Zachary led the Daman out of the hot furnace of the crematorium, and they walked past long columns of the dead. Frayed was their attire, their bones scraped against their augmetics and scratched their decrepit flesh. They were moaning sorrowfully. The sound made memory fade away. The Daman saw that the dead were carrying an ark, and inside of the ark was was a thing. A lost child cocooned in silk, shedding crimson tears for the unknown. The unliving carried her as servants would carry their lady, and loudly lamented their fate. Such as a blade mired in broodings over a lost past, a helpless child paralyzed by regret. Lest he sink into the soft rot of their wails and perish, Daman. I think I've got good fellowship. Toughness. Spoke gently to the lost child, and the lost child's tears were dried. And with a meek sigh she returned to nothingness, for mercy, too, can be the blade that brings peace. And a card of his tarot appeared in the Daman's hand. It was a star, and the second doubt was dispelled. He is death. And the old Veni led the Daman to the upper decks. and the Daman entered into the officers' chambers. A web of veins adorned the walls, entangling the precious trophies and statues were bound in intertwining sinews, and upon the balcony the dismembered judge wailed as he attempted to reassemble himself with his pale hands, but his movements merely tightened the tangle of flesh, turning the chambers into a snare. Such is a blade tangled and trapped in misunderstood teachings, a hapless creature that does not know its place in the world. In order to continue on his journey, the Daman... I'm pretty sure I don't have the logic for this. I apparently do. Weird. How am I... What? What? Okay. Help the judge by returning each of his organs to the proper place. And the judge became whole again, and regained his comprehension of the world, for one who is wise can make whole that what was broken. And a card of his tarot appeared in the Daman's hand. It was the rogue trader, and the third doubt was dispelled. He is death. The flagship's bridge was draped in skulls and webs, and pale souls of the dead flocked up to the foot of the throne upon which sat the undying Emperor, the protector of mankind. May his praise be innumerable. Starlight shone coldly in the eyes of his skull, and the galaxy rested in his mighty hand. The Daman approached his throne and... Obviously, I'm a commissar. No, you go down on one knee in front of the golden throne. The Undying One heeded the words spoken to him and lowered his brow of bone, acknowledging that he had heard the prayer as he had heard the Daman's other prayers before. When the Undying One spoke, and these words are to be preserved in your heart as the greatest of prayers, for they sprang from a source that was and is the holiest of all things. I know you, Daman, I know your heart. The Undying Emperor, may his praise be innumerable, said no more, and it was the Daman's turn to speak. And speak the Daman did, saying that he had come to find his shadow and rescue her. The skeletal fingers stirred, and the Daman's shadow loomed out of the darkness beside his throne. She was bound in black chains and asleep. The Undying One was silent. Now was the time to offer a payment, as death would give nothing away without payment in return. And the Daman promised the Undying One... Oh! Yeah, the life of anyone calling themselves an enemy of the Undying One. The Undying One laughed, for all his enemies were but dust compared to him. Then the Undying Emperor leant over the Daman and drove a skeletal finger right into his heart, and he pulled at the scarlet thread of his soul, and the thread trembled, stretched to the limit. It was then that the revelation came to the Daman. A life must be paid for a life, and a name was revealed to him. Nakai Erebis. And the life of the Undying One demanded as payment, and the Daman, alright, agreed to pay the price. An oath of blood was sworn, and the chains fell from the Daman's shadow. Yet she remained silent and motionless, for she saw no sense in leaving the halls of death, to which the Daman told her, that her congregation was suffering without her protection and the Undying One's mercy. And there was clarity in the shadowed soul, and her eyes opened, her doubt was banished, and she glimpsed the truth of her Lord's words. Preserving the defenseless from heinous designs would give her strength. Eradicating the ruiners of souls would give her purpose. The shadow would wrap the blood-spun wedge thread around the ship, and thus be redeemed of her flaws. He is death. The Daman and his shadow left the bridge of the Undying Emperor, may his praise be innumerable, and their paths were strewn with his tarot cards. Among them, the Daman saw the cards of the executioner, who carries out the sentences and brings a violent end to that which he did not begin. Among them, the Daman saw the card of the lost child, who is torn from her roots and her support, but carries within her the still hidden seeds of promise to recover them someday. Among them, the Daman saw the card of the judge, who weighs and separates guilt from innocence and passes the verdict. And they descended into the lower bays, lay down in a stone coffin, and closed their eyes. And the Daman heard the undying Emperor's voice promising that they would meet again, and soon. And thereupon their journey ended, and so it was. He is dead. As the shock of another's mind jumbles... as the shock of another's mind jumbles... too fast. As the shock of another mind's jumbled thoughts stops constricting your throat, you find yourself staring at Cabela's pale face. It has settled into a strange expression. Domin... Seth? Are you well, Cabela? Do you remember what happened? How we met death? I remember stumbling. I remember my doubt in the truth of the tenets throwing me off my feet. I remember deciding to kill, and not because I heard his whisper, but because I deemed it to be right. Death whispered my name, for a spinner without a thread is like a sky without stars. They would drown in their own soul's darkness. But you have reminded me of who I am, and that my shameful weakness must be extinguished. Cabela looks away. This Nakai Erebus is the payment the Undying One demands. The price of redemption, the price of freedom. Who is this person? Where are they from? I do not know. Help me find them, Daman. Your Factorum oversees archives that contain many names. Let him find the one that death has spoken, and I will pay the price that was set. For I know, I feel within all my essence, the death of Nakai Erebus is the key, the answer to my question. Well, that was different.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Oh, hi, Factorum! I've got potentially days-long work for you to do. I'm sorry about this. I must locate someone named Nakai Erebus. Find whatever information you can. Erebus. The clan name is familiar. If I may ask your lordship to give me a little time, the flagship's archives being as vast as they are, I will spare no effort in finding Nakai Erebus as soon as possible. 15 minutes. I found... The fast archives. That took me 15 minutes. It took me an extensive amount of time, you know, the extensive amount of time being 15 minutes. I found them, your lordship. The Erebus family are a lesser Voidborn clan of the boarding profession. They have served the dynasty for many generations in the service of her ladyship, Theodora. The Erebuses showed impeccable heroism on several occasions. Okay. Unfortunately, the clan was all but wiped out 2 decades ago during a confrontation with the enemies of humanity. With their valor and sacrifice, Lady Theodora granted them the surviving members of the clan noble estate privileges and the right to settle on the capital world. Oh, okay. And what about Nakai Erebus? The name Nakai appears in the reports. At least a dozen different women bore it over several centuries. But there is no data on any living person with that name. The head of the Erebus family will likely have had more information about the past 2 decades of their clan's history on Dargonus. Well, I must go to Dargonus. And it's a good thing I'll be going back by there later. Since I pretty much... I don't think I've even moved from the system I was in before. Yeah, Photon 4. Yeah, screw this place. Let's get the hell out of here. Oh, this is gonna suck. I have to go back through the... Oh, bad warp. Okay. Here we go. The Lord Captain and his crew have lost track of how much time they've spent in the warp jump. The vessel itself, the groaning of the bulkheads, the Vox Master's report, it all happened so many times before, and would happen yet again. No matter what occurred, the officers could not shake the feeling that they were running in circles, as if the voyage across the Sea of Souls would be eternal. Routine actions blended into grey nothingness and filled the crew's hearts with anguish. Many members considered submitting to the mercy of the chaotic power outside. Days went by, but the navigator did not give the order to leave the Immaterium. Heed your inner voice. The Lord Captain's insight pierced through the mind-numbing haze. It appears that the ship's astropath and navigator had been sounding the alarm, but their messages had been ignored. Their combined efforts finally broke the time loop and released the vessel from the Imperium's embrace. The warp never tires of its cruel mockery. Well, at least I wasn't getting butt-fucked by demons again. That's a nice change. Actually, before I do that, let's get me a zoom out here. Have any new systems popped up yet? No, it doesn't look like it. I still have the Beholding the Truth rumor and One Way Road. Oh yeah, these are rumors that I just picked up. Okay. How am I doing on my... Oh, thank you. Missionaries. Holy ammunition. I do not have reputation with the Jerusians, but I do have a significant number of weapons. False Wonders. By showing illusions to the masses is popular. Fine. Fuck it. I can always use more profit, more people. I'm not a liar. I'm just an opportunist. Ooh, more. Nice. Wait, when did I take the Scriptorum schools? God damn it, I lost 2 profit factor. I'm not paying... Well, actually, no, I got plenty of people, but... what's the security on this colony, anyway? Security of 10? Fuck it. I'll take the Casbalican mission and some efficiency. Why not? Lord Captain, there has been an act of sabotage on Kivagama. The Cult of the Final Dawn has invaded the planet. Again? Oh my god, what is wrong with these people? The Cult of the Final Dawn has invaded the planet, cultivated a pack of schismaticals in the bowels of the manufactorums, and set them upon us. The attack was so sudden that we almost lost all the workshops, but we had help. Some entities, already being called Data Angels, have invaded the Cogital network, seized the cogitators and servitors, and used them to repel the first onslaught of the schismaticals. I have 10 security on this planet. How the fuck did this happen? Now there is a fierce struggle taking place all over the planet. The new sphere of the world is boiling. Fortunately, we received information about the impending attack at the last moment. The signal was intercepted in the warp by the Cubus Delphim's machine. Oh, cool. Right, how the fuck did the cultists infiltrate my world again? This was part of a coordinated attack that hit the entire Expanse. The heretics must have been preparing for a long time. Of course. Thanks to the facts that the planet has been thoroughly purged of the corrupting influence of the Cubus Delphim, the cult now has nowhere to hide, and no collaborators on the planet. They have utterly failed to compromise our world's defenses. That's good. What do we know about these data angels? Not much. They are machine spirits, beings born from the art of data smithing. They charge into battle, chanting the same binaric mantra that the participants of the procedure O-C chanted. Okay. The logists who have been observing them and have instigated the cells used in procedure OC have deciphered traces of their activity and discovered patterns that could point us to the possible creators of these data angels. If they are right, then they bear the seal of the Explorer's Cognizance Fleet. Oh, okay. Connecting to the Naval Directory, no mentions of operations in Kivagawa detected. No information on data angels detected. Hypothesis: either there has been a calculation error or the information is locked behind a higher level of securance required for the sacrament. Alright. Let's hear the opinions of my officers and advisors. There are backup cogitators located in the Kivagamas manufactorums to ensure the continuity of production in case of an accident. The severity of the situation would call for the disrupting of the service algorithms, and I am prepared to sanction a ritual that will allow the data angels of the Omnissiah to absorb the cogitators' computing power to combat these wicked spirits. Oh, just him? Okay. In the terror of Kivagama. What do we got? 100? Go for it, Pascal. Having gained access to the cogitational reserves after being infused with power, the data angels charged at the schismaticals. The hordes of data spirits have been tech exorcised and exterminated, and the afflicted mechanism purged and restored. Tech priests give praise to the Omnissiah for protecting the production algorithm from severe disruption. After exiling the schismaticals, the data angels have retreated into hiding inside the cogitational networks, leaving the servants of the Omnissiah only guessing at who or what these beings were. Okay, and what is this? I don't think that would work at all, but whatever. Alright, what's next for this planet? Ooh, excellent. Tools of killing. More profit? Yes, please. Orbital shipyard? Yes! Orbital shipyard. I may just have, kind of said screw you to Footfall Station, because they were the only other dock in the Koronus Expanse, and now I have my own. Dargonis cries for help, Lord Captain. Riots over the interpretation of Scripture have broken out in several hives across the world. Of course they have. While hunting for the agents of the cult of the Final Dawn, the ecclesiarchy began reining in the minor cults, attempting to force upon them the correct adherence to the creed. The commoners whisper of oppression of the minor cults, even daring to claim that the holy pastors have assumed the sole right to speak for the God Emperor. Agents report that the disgruntled are actively negotiating with wasteland dwellers, the remains of the so-called Foreman clan, and it seems they are willing to offer their support. The enforcers and the agents of the ecclesiarchy have been able to curb the rebels so far, but the division grows wider every day. Alright. I'd like to hear what my advisors have to say. Small deviances in the creed give birth to large ones, and the large ones to heresy. The basis of our beliefs lie in the absolute trust of those above us, and if their beliefs push them towards revolt, that means that these tenets have been wicked from the very beginning. But it does not make the priests wicked. They could simply have been misguided. Pass them into the ecclesiarchy's care for re-education, so they may see the truth, and guarantee their flock's obedience. Shireen, perhaps you should stop allowing the fat cardinals and their servants to do whatever they want to your people. Rein them in. The faith in the Exalted One is not contained within the ranks and ties, but within the hearts and hands of the common people. And even this can take many forms as well. Let those who shoulder the welfare of Dargonis to at least choose in which manner they pray to him. Take the minor cults under your protection. That would actually be a good idea. Those who wish to worship him in their own way must prove their right to do so. The only help that would be proper in this situation is to provide instructions. Send one of the spinners to show how they can defend themselves. They will either take up arms and protect their faith, or bow down. The Grace of Death. What is the patron of cults? Ooh. Lore Imperium, okay. What is the Grace of Death? All allies gain... Okay, that's actually kind of interesting. They cannot use Psychic or Navigator powers. Okay. From Psychic and Navigator power. I mean, a 50% chance, basically a 50% chance to just say, fuck you. Yeah, that's basically a 50% chance to just say, hey, I'm a blank bitch, fuck you. But I will take them under my protection, because... What does that get me again? Plus 15 Lore Imperium, sure. Okay. The common folk rejoice at the news of their victory. Scoffing at the gilded priests, they offered up a thunderous prayer for the rogue trader. Thanks to the protection of the rogue trader, the agents of the ecclesiarchy were forbidden from entering the chapels of the minor cults. That's probably going to come back to bite me later. I didn't expect them to go quite that way. Oh. I have a choice. A new entries in the annals of Dargonus, the fates of millions of orphan whose parents fell in the fire that gripped the Expanse. Society of Cartographers. I mean, in this case, it's just +4 profit factor, but like I'm a commissar, goddammit. Very well, I will sacrifice 5 profit factor so that I can have my Scola Progenium. That was stupid. Ooh, +7. Holy crap. +21 weapons? Damn. The voice of Padovan. Ooh, that is a lovely looking power sword. It's better than the one I got, I can tell you that much. Alright, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I need to get better with the Druisians. And, Master of the Shadowy Expanse. Penal Battalion, let's go. Okay, alright. it's kind of interesting that we only have a couple of them, but before I do that, and I apologize, I'm mostly doing just logistic crap. Wait, I got pinged 4 times in Discord. Why? Strange, but very weird. That was... Alright. Genres. I need to do merchanty stuff. I think I have to get my reputation way up. So this could be a climb before I get access to that stuff. I am not dumping out my my inventory for this. Enforcer Carapace, medium. Ooh. Radiant gloves. Huh. The Laurels of Command. Interesting. Holy crap! That is insane. Alright, let's go kill somebody. I think. Terrible news from Dargonis, your lordship. Your vigilant servants have discovered an abscess of treachery on our capital world, one that has grown far too large and could rupture at any moment. Well, that was a rather disgusting metaphor. The informants report that the group known as the Foreman Clan is actually a cover for a horrendous cult of genetic aberrations who currently have people in... Oh, for fuck's sake! Are they gene stealers? Apparently their unholy sermons speak of the 3 sorrowful phalanges as of a finger pointing the way to retribution and unity. Oh, do those abominations look like the ones on my ship, the same cursed brood? I'm afraid so, your lordship. The descriptions from Dargonis are quite similar to what we have witnessed ourselves. The same deformities, the same underhanded tactics. Either they are kin to our aberrations, or they are another branch stemming from the same foul root. Heinrich, what are these mutants? They're called gene stealers, and not simple mutants. They are Xenos plague that breeds inside the human brain, forever distorting their genetic makeup and enslaving them to the brood. This is much more threatening than the Drakari fleet that ravaged the capital earlier. If they are on Dargonis, they will try to overtake the entire planet sooner or later. For fuck's sake. The messengers of the Great Devourer. My race can sense the shapeshifters, but you should stay vigilant, Elantak. For a race with such weak psyche, such a weak psyche as the Monkai, their appearance can prove deadly. So the Foreman clan is a discover for this disgusting cult. Indeed, they have probably started to recruit the workers. It's easy to blend in with the laboring riffraff. Disguising themselves as technomats, they gain cover for their secret operations and infiltration into the upper echelons of power. Each crisis allowed them to gain our trust and receive our resources. And the most despicable of all is that they have corrupted our beliefs as well. They revere the God Emperor in the image of a four-armed abomination. Their prayers are full of hatred towards those in power and promises of a reckoning when their dreadful deity will come and equate them with their oppressors. With this, that is. Ugh. Their prayers are full of hatred towards those in power and promises of a reckoning when their dreadful deity will come and equate them with their oppressors. With us, that is. Many fools and troublemakers have fallen for their lies. Praise be, it was wise not to let them into the hives on pain of death. Scurrying through... Well, thank God I made that choice. Scurrying through the wastelands, they could only recruit the vandals dwelling there, and very few of the cult's cells poisoned the inside of the hives. When your lordship had stood for the minor cults, they received a golden opportunity. Damn it! Look, it's the consequences of my own actions! What forces do they have at their disposal? The heretics mostly consist of workers, but some have infiltrated the guard as well. Their weapons are primarily made by repurposing industrial machinery. Oh joy. Those stupid 4-strike circular saws. Those things hurt. The cultists are fearless and will readily sacrifice themselves for the sake of their common goal. But the worst part is their psychic threat. We cannot even begin to gauge it. If we would not have crushed the engine vandals, they could have joined the ranks of the cult, but at least we could ward off... Oh, well, thank God. Alright, what did my people find out? One tenacious clerk from the Administratum had questioned the authenticity of the reports coming from the ruins of Scipion 84249. He personally attended to the debris removal and entered the lower levels of the fallen hive. There he discovered signs that proved Scipion had been infected by the gene plague. Thousands of corpses of the extra-armed degenerates had been buried in a mass grave. He had also found the remains of Achilles Scalender's people. It seems that they had noticed the signs of corruption, and the traitors, aiming to cover up their crimes, buried their misdeeds under the ruins of the hive. On the way back, the clerk's transport was destroyed, but he miraculously managed to survive. Lucky man. Now the heretics think they have covered up their tracks once more, so they continue their plots, oblivious and unprepared for our attack. Yes, yes, Noodle, it's my first playthrough. I originally started playing when the game first came out, but then I sort of petered off. Oh yeah, no, I'm loving this game. I am absolutely loving this game. But I petered off, and then when I realized that there was a DLC coming out, I sort of slowed down Chapter 2 so that I didn't miss anything. Oh yeah, yeah. But there's a third DLC coming out. If you have the nice, if you have the Seasons Pass, which I bought, it tells you that there is a third DLC coming out. I won't spoil it. It does give you a brief description of what's going to happen in the third DLC. Like I said, I won't spoil it, though, because, you know. It's better that we all find out on our own time. Okay. Alright, I have to act. Absolutely right. It's impossible to negotiate with the degenerates. Our only option is to completely annihilate them. We should start from the top. Should we attack decisively and quickly, or should we expose ourselves by bringing our heavy weapons into the capital and gain an advantage in firepower? To quietly eliminate their leaders, or to hit the infected territories and cleanse them of traitors? Yes, Pascal is for the win. Well, Pascal for the win, and Argenta as just liquid masturbation material. Just give her the heavy bolter and just let her win everything. Not so much now that with the new DLC, because she got kind of nerfed, but it still does really well. I realize that what I just said earlier could be misconstrued, and I apologize. Alright, Seth, raise the people to battle and publicly proclaim war. Tell the people that the heretics are hiding among them, and millions of loyal subjects will grind thousands of traitors to dust. May Koronus cleanse itself of this filth. Yes, she does. She does. The cleansing should be thorough. Ever since the Xenoscum attacked your world, the wrecks of downed ships float everywhere in orbit. Connect them with your ships and send them flying towards the nests of the spawn trying to encroach upon your domain. Since all of them are linked by a common will, we should start by launching our attack there. If the astropathic choir could drown out the voice of the brood, we would be able to launch a sudden strike and act quickly enough before the enemy could restore its cohesion and alert their forces to the assault. The problem is the more people we expose to G-Sealers, the more likely they are to spread their taint. So, yep, I'm gonna trust the expert from the Ordo Xenos on this. Oh shit! But I don't have the expertise for it. All right. Yep, fast strike it is. At the appointed time, the undeclared war against the cult had begun. The leaders of the cult were quickly eliminated, all without lifting the veil of secrecy. When the heretics finally realized that they were being led to their extermination, it was too late. Their leaders were slain, and the rest of them died among the brutal carnage of the street battles. The miserable lot of engine vandals who answered the call of the brood have died in shame beneath the walls of the hives. There are only a few of them. Only one thing made the rogue trader's servants feel a sense of unease. Inside the cult's main temple, they found a hatchery for some grotesquely enormous monster. It was empty. They did not find the beast. If the Emperor had been merciful to Koronus, then the monster had perished in the fires that engulfed the hives. No, it didn't, because the previous Broodlord was on my ship, and the way it works is when one Broodlord dies, another one fucking comes up, and it's probably still on my damn planet. Alright. To Koronus! I need Cabela, and... It's always funny to watch people crap themselves when Ulfar wanders up on them. You know, for such a big guy, he's surprisingly sneaky. Long live the rogue trader. Oh, I'm going all the way into my palace. Okay. Just 1 second. I think I heard someone knocking on my door. Alright. I'm playing a commissar, so I'm not going any one particular one, Noodle. I'm trying to play a smart commissar. So I'm kind of doing the Caiaphas Cain thing where I'm playing the smart commissar and not the dick commissar. So if I happen to go iconoclast, then I happen to go iconoclast. If I happen to go dogmatic, then I kind of go dogmatic. Let's see. How am I doing? I'm sort of equal dogmatic and yeah. Too many Elder in the party. I know. But as I say to everybody who brings this up, I need a sniper in my party, and I don't see any of the other companions stepping up, so... Also, and here's another point. The Imperium does ally with the Eldar on occasion. Oh, yeah, no, that is a lot of fun. I do... If Gilliman likes him, so do I. Rowboat girly man. Yep. I do try, like, when given the option, I will generally take the dogmatic choice. However, like I said, I'm trying to play a smart commissar, so, if the dogmatic approach is more likely to piss people off and get them to turn against me, and there's an iconoclast choice that, you know, helps, you know, that makes it seem like I'm, you know what I'm saying. It's just imagine Caiaphas Cain in that way, where Cain is just like, oh yeah, no, yeah. And now I forgot what I was doing. What was I doing? Wait, what? Oh, wait, are there still traces on my... Oh, wait, no. Behind the rebellion? Oh, weird. That is a weird way of logging that. The G-Sealer cult was behind the rebellion on the capital world of Dargonus. The cult of the Ravenous Star was eliminated on the... So why isn't that marked as done? I too feel bad. No. I am more than happy to make the end... what was it? Marzahai or whatever it was? I put that fucker down hard. No. Announce that a reception is starting. I am ready to receive the Erebus family. As you wish, your lordship. Oh my! A couple of Churgeons in there. Officers Randar and Zioni Erebeth both make the sign of the Aquila, reverent expressions on their battle-scarred faces. Beside them are their children, raised to love the God Emperor. They are mild-mannered, but fascinated by their new surroundings. Judging by their uniforms, the two eldest children are already member of Dargonus' planetary... Oh, okay, never mind, I was... yeah, laughing, not crying. I thought as much, Bob. Your lordship, it's a great honor for the House Erebus to be invited to your palace. There's a glimpse of distinct anxiety in Randor Erebus's eyes. She only touches her husband's palm ever so slightly, gives him a reassuring nod, then addresses you. As a token of our great reverence for the Von Valencius dynasty, allow me to present you with a modest family relic of the Erebus clan. May it serve you faithful. Voidborn's pride. Whenever the wearer kills an enemy, their Medicaid increases. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's definitely going directly to Cabela. How is House Erebus faring on Dargonus? We are delighted by the favor shown to us, your lordship. Life in the capital is much calmer and slower compared to the ship, and I have almost gotten used to the gravity. The prosthetic supporting Randor's spine creaks under his clothes as he attempts an awkward bow. Cabela whispers, just barely audibly, a crowd, the Dolmen's attention, and this being their first visit to the palace. They are nervous. You must give these people time, let them get accustomed to these surroundings and to your presence. Let them wander around the hall and taste the food. We will talk to each one individually, of course. As the Erebus parents notice a blood-spun web cultist at your side, they exchange glances. An almost imperceptible tension hangs in the air. Let us enjoy the evening. Join the guests. We will talk later. Of course, your lordship. We are available for you at any time. Excellent. God, I've picked up a lot of crap. Yeah, I'll figure that out later. No, what I really need to get is I need to really get the improved heavy bolter. That baby, for every kill you make, yeah, it increases the rate of fire by 1. And considering Argenta can murder entire hordes in a room, oh yeah, getting her that is my highest priority right now. Okay, I think it was really the only thing I needed to give her. Okay. Time to futz around and talk to people. Let's check the map first. Oh, okay, so there are a bunch of people I can talk to. Okay, you're making me nervous now. Please stop throwing your knife in the air.
Victory awaits!
Thank you for that. Erebus. Okay, so there's just... Okay, so there's really nobody else there. Do I play tabletop? No, unfortunately I don't. I do not have the monetary resources, nor do I have the time. I do play Dungeons and Dragons, though. Giant Lands, Pathfinder, Cyberpunk. Yeah, I play those, but not Warhammer. Yeah, that's the other reason why I don't play Warhammer, is because when I was a young man, I used to work on my family's farm, and my hands got caught in machinery, so my fine motor skills are kind of shot to shit. So painting small models is a problem for me. Your Lordship, allow us to thank you once again for this honor. Though we left the flagship a long time ago, it is a pleasure to be in the presence of a Lord Captain again. Sione looks at you with a pensive, unblinking gaze, her eyes darker than the night sky. We realize that your attention to House Erebus was brought on by some manner of circumstance. Please let us know how we can be of service to you, and we will do what you require. Oh, nice! A keen observation. Randor's eyes meets Cabela's as she speaks, but he is not intimidated. On the contrary, the corner of his mouth curves upward slightly, and he gives a respectful nod. Oh, maybe. But that would assume, once again, that I have the monetary resources to actually engage in the hobby, which I know I don't. Tell me about the Erebus family. Sadly, we are but a shadow Sadly, we are but a shadow of what was once a much more numerous clan. Most of our kinspeople fell in combat, but we believe the Erebus' last battle is yet to be fought. We raise cohorts of successors. We teach new recruits, and our own children, the ins and outs of void service before they even set foot on board. The new generation are learning to serve in their own way. Our eldest son, Mattis, is on the Planetary Guard. So is Lorna, our eldest daughter, though she has devoted herself to medicine, and to my great surprise and elation, our younger children, Rono and Lumi, have found their vocation serving the God Emperor and the Ecclesiarchy. Ah, cool. Do you remember the Theodora well? I won't lie, your lordship, we never saw her in person. We did not have the rank. Even her favor was bestowed on us in the form of a document penned and delivered by a scribe. But we remember her orders, and they were reflective of all the courage and fervor of a true rogue trader. Alright. I'm gonna hold off for a second before I start asking that question. Randor. Your lordship? Oh. Okay, so alright, fair enough. Should have expected they'd talk to the others as a group.
Follow my lead.
Lorna. You're pressing down too hard on your quill, Lumi. Look how thick your lines are. And the ink hasn't dried. Mother would be livid when she sees the stain on my cuff. Why don't you watch what you're doing instead of lecturing me again? How many times has Master Rogbard said, apply the base colors first, then the darker shades? The Erebus children are leaning over a sheet of parchment, arguing passionately. A small, finely made box next to them contains quills and a few bottles of ink. Cabela's shadow hangs over the younger Erebuses. Her unblinking gaze carefully studies the unfinished drawing and grows gloomier still. Your lordship, we are honored to be at the Von Valencius Palace. I am Lorna Erebus. A pale young woman, excuse me, slightly shorter than Cabela, smooths a lock of her dark hair nervously as she stands between her younger siblings and the spinner. Look at the drawing. The parchment is an unfinished family portrait showing the Erebus parents and their 4 children. The young artist's skills is impressive. Our family was once renowned for their courage, but Dargonus has no need for boarding teams. So our parents enrolled Rono and Lumi in the scriptorium to study religious painting. Enjoy the reception. Cabela casts a final glance at the portrait and wait, they say 4 children? Did I balls up? Wait, there's someone off in the middle of nowhere. Where was that? Oh. Oh, Mattis. Yes. Right. Your lordship, Senior Lieutenant Mattis Erebus, at your service. The tall, dark-haired young man enunciates sharply as he salutes you with great fervor. Breathless from his own audacity, he blurts out, I hope I don't sound too bold if I say I've always dreamt of serving on your flagship. Would be too much for a modest servant of the dynasty to hope that the Lord Captain might graciously make me a part of his crew? Well! Cabela soundlessly appears at your side, her face is reflected in Mattis's dark eyes. As their gazes meet, they both freeze in astonishment and lower their heads. Awareness text succeeded. If Cabela had enough to eat growing up, if she had not put her body through grueling trials, if she had not used intoxicants during the cult rituals, You might... Oh my god. Oh. Oh my. Are we saying that, Are we saying that the person we're looking for is actually Cabela herself? Pardon my... Mattis looks away first. Pardon my tactlessness, mistress. He clears his throat. I have the strangest feeling that we have met before. Cabela takes her time to reply. You were born on a world and absorbed a hive sense. I would have remembered someone who smelled like that. I do not know you. Do you believe yourself fit to serve on the flagship? I have served dutifully in the planetary forces, your lordship. Governor Drivestem even awarded me a medal for defending the Southern Hive against the Xenos. I may have been born on a gravity-bound world, but my heart belongs to the void. Good man! Sail the endless stars, that's what I say. So your reasons are your unflinching courage and your love of the stars. There is another reason, your lordship, but I'm afraid you'll find it laughable. You see, I've always known my destiny... So Tanner, are you familiar with the lore? Who would you play if you could? Oh, easy. A few years back... No, that's easy. A few years back, I would have played Lamenters. Easily. But then I found out that GW decided to just turn them into any other Blood Angel successor chapter. And, so... I would go with, these days I go with my second favorite. My second favorite, which is Celestial Lions. Now, mind you, I don't know... Yeah, and Black Templar is my third favorite. Yeah. It used to be Lamenters, Celestial Lions, and Black Templars, my three favorite Space Marines. If I couldn't play Space Marines, easy. Valhallan. I would play the Valhallan Ice Warriors. Nice. Yeah, it's gold and cobalt blue. Okay. Sorry. There is another reason, your lordship, but I'm afraid you will find it laughable. Oh, yeah. Who offs the war boss? Yeah. Orc snipers. Piss off. God, I hate the... Like, half the time, the Inquisition is more of an enemy to the Imperium of Man than the fucking orcs or the enemies of the Imperium of Man are. Good lord. Okay, so, back to the game. There is another reason, your lordship, but I'm afraid you will find it laughable. You see, I've always known my destiny awaits me on the flagship, because ever since I was a child, I've had the same dream over and over. A dark-haired young woman walking barefoot along the decks, and me following in her footsteps. I would run, but I could... Yeah, brother and sister right there. My father told me he had felt something of the sort when he met my mother. Mattis's eyes take in Cabela's feature, and he smiles sadly. I believe my future awaits me there. All right, I accept you into my service. It's truly an honor for me, Lord Captain. I will not let you down. Glory to House von Valencius. Enough! Cabela's cold, raspy voice sends shivers down your spine. Cabela's cry brings the Erebus' family back together. 6 alarmed faces, 6 people standing shoulder to shoulder like a fortress wall, and one lone grim figure opposite them. The shadow peers into their dark eyes, the same as her own. Their pale lips, the same as her own. She clenches her fists, ignoring the steel claws that pierce her palms. Enough, I know who Nakai Erebus is. Nice. Well, best of luck with that one, I tell you that much. And so do I. Oh, thank you kindly. And so do I. Nakai. Zioni Erebus looks at Kibella with scarcely concealed fear, but her husband notices her reaction and shakes his head in warning. No! Mathis screams. How could you keep something like that to yourselves? How could you? How could you? Lorna hugs her younger brother and sister, who cast frightened glances at their parents and the sinister woman with a wry smile. Nakai Erebus... Yeah, called it. Kibella throws her head back and her laughter resonates through the hall. Nakai Erebus is me. So all this time, Mathis, your dreams were showing you. The woman who is destined for me, not the love of my life, but my sister. Mathis shudders and stares intently at Kibella. I don't know. Do you remember me? I remember what I am permitted to remember, the tenets of the web, prayers to the Undying One, the names of poisons and intoxicants, the name the Vizier gave me, but you? No, I do not remember you. I do not know you. Observed silently. You said the Undying One had taken Nakai, but death whispered her name only a short while ago. Whispered. The God Emperor demanded a great sacrifice, yet it makes serving him all the more honorable. Zioni's voice trembles and she turns to her husband for strength and support. A few years before Lady Theodora sent our clan survivors to Dargonos, the blood-spun web Vizier came to our bay. He said the Emperor demanded the next firstborn of the Erebus clan, that he needed a new spinner. 6 months later, we had twins, a boy and a girl with eyes darker than darkness itself. Zioni smiles tenderly at Kibella. You were born first, Nakai, and with sorrow and pride we gave the Vizier our most precious treasure, and that is how one honors the God Emperor. Okay. A difficult choice, but a righteous and devout one. The most difficult one of our lives, your lordship, but we knew our daughter was alive and serving the faith, and, as mysterious and bloody as the ways of this service were, they were ways that pleased the Emperor. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to do that. So if I'd been born a minute earlier, that animated corpse standing before you today would have been me? That animated corpse standing before you today would have been me? Mathis recoils from his parents, but why doesn't she remember anything? Why was she never told? The ritual of releasing the burden. Kibella steps up to her brother, who is so completely like her and yet so thoroughly different. The new blood-spun web recruits undergo it in order to forget their past and devote themselves to the Undying One, and so that their souls do not suffer. Tell me, Mathis, is your soul in pain? It only hurts because I never knew you all these years. Kibella turns to you sharply. We are here to settle our debt to the Undying One. We now have the name, the person, and the explanation. I know what must be done. So why do I feel a pain from an unseen wound in my heart? Why am I, for the first time in my life, hesitant to sever a thread? All this time I have been wandering in the labyrinth of my mind, but the answers never came to me. What must I do, Domin? How do I end Nakai Erebus? Says kill your family. Kill your family. Kill yourself. Okay. These options are a little bit out there. Kill your family. Kill your family. Kill your family. Okay, that one is a kill yourself. I'm gonna be honest. I'm just gonna let her make a choice. You are the Undying One spinner. Cabela flinches, goes even paler, and then her eyes widen. She clutches her chest with a pained rasp and collapses on the floor like a broken doll. Cabela's lifeless body convulses in death throes. You cannot feel her heartbeat. The Erebus family surrounds her, panic and fear crossing their faces for only a brief moment before their rigorous Voidsman training takes over. Zioni leans over and puts an ear to her daughter's unmoving chest. Her heart isn't beating. I must restart it. Step back. She lays her palms on Cabela's breastbone and pushes. Once, twice, thrice, 10 times, 30 times. And she's back up. A heavy, raspy sigh escapes Cabela's chest. Yep, let their reunion proceed undisturbed. Nakai, the Emperor is merciful. He has not parted us. Cabela carefully moves Zioni's hand aside. Nakai Erebus is dead. Only Cabela remains. You still have the dexterity of your former profession, Zioni. Thank you, your lordship. Some things are never forgotten. Well, I'm glad you survived. Cabela nods and casts a strange glance at those who in another life would have been a family. Nakai Erebus is no more. Death's dues are paid. There is one last thing to be done. I could have had a family and a I could have had a family and a future full of righteous service. A chance for a different life that was taken from me. Who I would be and how I would serve was decided for me. She clenches her fist. The Vizier forged me into a weapon and stained it with blood. He named a mark, he gave me a mission. Come, Daman, we must descend to the Temple of Death, where I will report my tasks and ask the Vizier a single question. Why me? Well, would you say goodbye to your family? Farewell. Nakai spent all these years missing you, but I will not. Shaken and devastated, the Erebuses can only watch helplessly as Cabela walks out of the throne room. Yeah, well, this is grim dark. This is grim dark for you, ladies and gentlemen. Not everything is sunshine and fucking rainbows. I always get those two mixed up. Like, I click Void Ship Ridge, and then I go back to the... out of thinking that'll take me back to the map, and then I click Return to the Ship, thinking it'll take me... I don't know why I get those two confused, so I always have to take a second when I go to that part. One second, let me just check something quickly here. Looking for Pascal. Before Dargonus, no return for... Oh, yes. Before Dargonus, no return for future... Is that what it is? Yeah, for a future DLC. Yeah, okay, so that's my Chapter 2 save when the next DLC comes out. Good. Perfect. Just couldn't remember if I'd made that. To the blood-spun web. Or not?
Take heed, Nemo. Our blessed Domin honors us with a visit. The one who delivered this ark from the curse of your existence.
It's Wilson, except it's the skull of a gene stealer. Alright, I'm ready. Let us present ourselves to the Vizier.
Come, Domin.
Okay, that's creepy. With ominous resolve, Cabela drags a steel claw down her face, leaving behind a line that splits it in half. She steps forward, but there's a lot of cutting themselves in this. Should I be worried? Do I want to have Erliet's funny, Eldari opinion, or do I want Ulfar? I want Ulfar for this one. He's funny. No! Put the big man right behind me.
A new challenge for me?
Oh, pardon me. The Vizier whispers a prayer, his masked face turned toward the Undying One's image. Instead of his usual threadbare clothes, he is wearing elegant armor of bone and dark gold, marked with purity seals. He turns as he hears you approach. Cabela, I have been hearing your footsteps for a long time, in his whispers. Domin Seth, Lord of the Ark, it's good that you are here with her. It is right. The Undying One has blessed this union of light and shadow. You greet us clad in armor. Are you preparing for battle? Today is a special day. I have only donned this armor once before, when I was second spinner. That day I ceased to be second, but I have remembered the weight of this gold on my shoulders and chest all through these years since. Cabela opens her mouth. The Vizier stops her with a gesture. You will understand, my daughter. You will understand soon. We learned how Cabela came to be part of the Bloodspun Web. We have met her family. The Vizier looks away for a brief moment and nods to empty space. The Undying One's congregation sacrifices the blood of its blood. This is how spinners are brought into this temple, but only those who would serve him of their own volition stay and spin the blood-spun web, as Cabela did. Your words are dishonest. The ritual of releasing the burden erased me, made me hollow. What will of my own I had, you took from me, and filled me with yours instead. The Vizier's voice becomes astonishingly gentle. My daughter, do you believe you have only served him because I set you on the thread of the web? Do you believe you have no faith in him? You know that is not true. Cabela grits her teeth, hissing. You used my trust to make me your tool. Of course I see no other destiny for myself now. But that does not mean it was preordained. Cabela has been cured of her affliction. This is true. No longer do I see anguish in her soul. Second Spinner, I'm ready to receive your report. Have you accomplished the task the Undying One himself set you? Yes, Mentor. My mission has been accomplished. The Undying One revealed a name to me, and I found my mark. Nakai Erebus died the moment she realized the Undying One wanted her to come to him. Her body was wrested away from death, but that which was once Nakai is now dead. I grieve for her, and I am proud of you, Second Spinner. Your faith is beyond doubt. A tired sigh escapes the Vizier's chest. A harrowing sacrament, a ruthless ritual. I am relieved that it is nearing the end. Everything is coming together just as he revealed to me. Perfection has been sculpted. The affliction I nurtured has been vanquished. The choice has been made. So whence all the sadness, my daughter? The Vizier shakes his head, suddenly looking very human. His shoulders droop, and he extends a hand toward Cabela. So, what happens now? Cabela will be the... Yeah, I saw that coming. Will be the new Vizier. Her journey to the Undying One and the choices she made will be reflected in the blood-spun webs... The blood-spun web's new pattern. Enunciation, Mr. Tanner. It's part of speaking English. As for me, I will go to him, as I have long awaited. The confusion and alarm in Cabela's face gives way to anger and horror. Her face distorts like a crumbling paper mask as the emotions watch over her. Too many emotions for one whose soul has gone dead. I have not yet done all that you expected me to, have I? That is correct, my daughter. Can you feel it? The proper way this burden must be passed. Cabela's voice falters. She clenches her teeth, trying to keep herself from bursting into tears. I don't want to kill you. Is a simple transition of power not possible? Why there must be bloodshed? A very good question. Because great things are not achieved in small ways. Because if you worship him, your sacrifices to him must be great as well. Blood is our gift. The only thing that is truly ours. The only worthy way to worship and honor him. All right. Let that which must be done, be done. Still, it is unfair. Her face has become a death mask. The Vizier's voice is full of sorrow and humility. Yes, for I am stronger than you, and my high spinners stand with me. These who swore an oath to protect me and not outlive me. And he, too, stands with me. His face will emerge out of mine. And may those who you choose when you set out along the threads... And may those you choose when you set out along the threads of the web, your comrades, your domin, may they stand with you. Fight. Fight with no regret. A bitter sigh falls from the old man's lips. Farewell, my daughter. Let us honor the Undying One. Let us honor him. He is death.
I won't heed your cries of mercy.
Death to his enemies!
Everybody? Really? Fine. Safe place. Ooh. That is a nice sniper perch up there. Thank God they don't have someone up there. Where can I put Cassia so she won't be violently violated? Here works. For now. Cabela... Let's stick you over here for the moment. Argenta! Let's stick you right here. Actually, Cassia, change of plans. You get to go right there. Pascal, I'm gonna stick you behind a pillar. Seth, well, you get to stay up front, and Ulfgar, you get to stay up front as well. Seth, I'm gonna scooch you back a notch, and that should give me a firing lane. Cassia,
isn't this a job for
please.
The serfs? I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
I'll do it.
Control 4 first. Thank you. Alright, Bolter bitch, let her rip.
As the Emperor commands, I act. The due of my Emperor!
That has never happened before.
Follow my lead. Weather
That's never happened before.
I'll do it.
And all of a sudden, I feel scared.
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain. If I may, Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Doubt is for the weak. This is why I was chosen.
Follow my lead.
I'll do it. For you, my Emperor!
Follow my lead. Weather the storm!
No Protectorian. They are not. I'm not that big of a streamer, so no. What was I doing?
As the Emperor commands.
How can I trust someone like you?
Follow my lead.
My goodness, they are. Oh wow.
The angel will reward us.
Is that all you've got?
Alright, they changed her abilities. Alright, let's get my damage boost. And... We'll just start out here for a bit.
As the tenants demand. Trust me.
I screwed that up. Ulfgar,
None can do this better than a warrior of the All-Father. So it's I have become the All-Father's worthy instrument!
boot. Thank you.
I must not falter.
Oh boy. Where'd you go? There he is.
The scriptural prognosis is favorable. Request approved. Running binary override.
I'm gonna try this.
Request denied.
Oh. Oh, I can only do it with my primary weapon. Damn it!
Heavy is the tread of his faith.
No, wait. Oh, right. Okay, yeah, it's forcing me to do it with my primary weapon. Bugger. Crap. My brain.
I'll drag you under the keel for that.
No, he dodged it. Oh well.
Activating Force Mode Sacrament.
Watch it, you rusting, stinking sons of trolls!
This attack always hits. Well, apparently he could dodge it. Okay.
Stay vigilant.
Onward!
Martyrdom is the
My
reward.
faith strengthens me.
Not a problem for me. Nothing I... Another clean strike!
Step aside. The navigator is coming. I am a navigator, not a servitor.
That didn't work. Okay. Not sure how best to play this one.
If only that were possible. Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
Faith without deeds is worthless. For you, my Emperor!
Break them around.
I'll do it. In thy light I stand, and thy light I crave.
Burn, bitch.
Doubt is for the weak. None can escape the Emperor's judgment.
I have read tomes of military tactics.
I knew you could do it, Cassia. Thank you.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
That is not the Emperor's will. I will not.
Okay.
As the Emperor commands me.
Did the All-Father take your sight or your mind?
A little bit of both.
Each strike is a prayer. I'll do it. For you, my Emperor! Faith without deeds is worthless. I'll do it. This is why I was chosen.
Well, I didn't get as much done as
the
I wanted
Emperor
to, but
commands,
okay.
I act.
When Fenris is in battle, oceans bleed.
I am your blade and shield. I shall. My blade whispers your name. The shadows will see it done.
Nice. Thank you, Pascal.
Request approved.
I should have used the Mechadendrite push. I should have done that.
As the tenets, let your soul be purged. Caught by the web.
Watch and learn. Another clean strike.
As honor ordains.
I forgot to do my power up.
Trust me.
Blessed are those who sacrifice. for
Sorry,
their glory.
Pascal.
Born predator does not become prey. Cubs play. Feel the icy bite of death. So shall it be.
Oh, I think he got hurt from hitting the wall.
Follow my lead.
Let your soul
Enjoy your
be
luck
purged.
while you still draw breath.
Killing brings me no pleasure.
Follow my lead.
All too easy.
I can't see anything. It's just red everywhere. I don't know who's friend or who's foe.
Nothing I can't do.
Oh, nice, 105. Perry! Get spanked back. Get spanked back!
I'll paint your death in colors.
See how the wolf succeeds? I will cut
Thank you.
bones out of your bones. Wolves reign.
Dodgy little fuckers, aren't they?
None can do this better than a warrior of the All-Father.
Thank you for showing me that you're in range. Now get stabbed.
Weather the storm.
There's nowhere to hide.
Oh, nice dodge, Argenta. Nice dodge! Oh, I get another one? Get him!
I have become the All-Father's worthy instrument! My Keramite hide is strong!
Okay. Just boot fuck him. Oh, that had to hurt. And then just, you know, drag everybody to a central position. I'm sorry, Pascal!
Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Moving out.
If I may. Me. If you insist, Lord Captain.
Doubt is for the weak. As the Emperor commands, none can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Harry, strike him! Hit him! Harry, hit him! Yeah, I didn't think that. Okay, let's just...
I refuse.
Let's use my guaranteed hit.
Eradicated.
Get fucked. I love blessed bolter casing. It makes my life so much easier.
Faith without deeds. This is why I was chosen. I'll do it. I am his will made manifest.
And blessed bolter casing. Just punch him down.
Doubt is for the weak. Oh, you, my Emperor. This is why I was chosen.
Eh? Okay.
This is unacceptable. I'll do it.
Wow, you're a dodgy motherfucker, considering these shots are supposed to be 100% accurate and not miss.
For you, my Emperor!
Finally!
Faith without deeds is...
I'll live another day. You'll regret this.
As the Emperor commands.
Really? You choose now to run out of... I mean, okay, whatever, Argenta.
I am a navigator. Not try to die with grace, at least. They will bow before me.
What?
Today, tomorrow, you will be dead.
What? The Undying Emperor. Oh, he just gets to attack whenever the fuck he wants. Okay.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
Argenta, save us, please.
If I may. Isn't this a job for the serfs? I am a navigator, not a servitor.
I'll do it. As the Emperor commands. This is why I was chosen.
That rises against me.
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
Oh boy.
If I may.
What is dead does not bleed.
Oh boy.
I will leave footprints of scarlet. I shall not fail. I will not die in dishonor.
Hit it! Till either it dies or we die. I also gotta get her out of the way.
The shadows will see it done.
Oh boy. Okay, what's the mechanic to this fight? I don't know.
Faith without deeds is worthless. I'll do it.
What is dead does not live.
Watch and learn.
See how the wolves survive. My strut is ruined.
Injured. I'm enraged.
Okay, now I'm looking at Legion of the Damned here. What the hell is going on? That looks like somebody got a Legion of the... Okay, what am I looking at? Okay. I don't know what's going on. That looks important. Wait. Pascal, go deal with that, please. I'm just throwing shit at the wall right now. That looks like it might be important. Because I have no... Oh wait, no, there's two of them. Excuse me.
The scriptural proclamation dead does not bleed.
Yeah, I get that.
My blade whispers your name.
Absolutely not.
Bite like a pop.
Oh my god. I don't know what to do.
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain. this a job for the serfs?
By the wolf's eye, perish! So it shall be. I am become your father's worthy instrument! Give this task to someone lesser. Wolves rage! Feel the icy bite of death!
I do not know what I'm doing.
You don't frighten me!
As honor ordained. An offering called by the well.
Believe that you can defeat me.
No fucking clue. I'm just hoping that I can.
Tenant's demand. Ha! Death is a blessing.
I shall not die, for I am death itself.
Oh, she got a new mask. That's cool. Clad in the Vizier's armor, Cabela is staring at the spot where just a short time ago lay the body of the man who raised her. Her shoulders are shaking, and her head hangs low, but no tears are to be seen, and no sobs come from behind her mask of dark gold. Suddenly, she throws her head back, and a desperate cry full of pain, fury, and regret echoes around the temple. This is not the Vizier, nor a spinner you see before you, just a daughter who has lost her father. I know this is a ridiculous question to ask, but how are you doing? The tenets of the web teach us never to regret or hesitate, but I could never have imagined that I would one day have to make a choice this painful. I did what had to be done, but that does not quell the pain. I know he is in the Undying One's hands, but that does not soothe the grief. Losing a mentor is hard. He was more than that. He was both a friend and... Cabela's voice drops. Her next words are barely audible. A father. Am I to call you Vizier now? I do not want to lose my name as my mentor lost his, but no spinner will ever speak it again, for I am their Vizier. Yet you are my Domin, and I am your shadow. Let me remain Cabela to you, at the very least. Did I just see the God Emperor in the flesh? No. Was that how you saw the Vizier, Domin Seth? You saw an image of death in him, but it was only an image. Fumes of the sacred intoxicant blessed our ritual. But what you saw and killed was a mere man. The Undying One does not come to the living, we come to him. Alright, what will become... Oh, what did the Vizier look like to you? Younger, the way he was when I first saw him. I was younger too. It was as though we were facing each other in a training match like we used to. Oh, that's cute. Did you have two visions? All I saw was the old man himself, though he did fight with a strength that is beyond mere mortals. Swift and deadly he was. He chose himself a good death, even if it was bleak. Ulfar looks at Cabela pensively. What will become of the blood-spun web now? Cabela raises her head to peer into the Undying Emperor's dark eye sockets. We will not stray from the tenets. Oh, your influence has made her compassionate. We will not stray from the tenets. We will not forget our predecessor's sacrifice and our Vizier's teaching. Service to the Undying One is our life, for he is duty, he is death. Death has whispered your name. You defeated the vision of the Undying One. Cabela studies the spinners. Her voice thunders under the temple's vaults. Bow now before your new Vizier. And 100 whispers reply. Death salutes you. Oh joy, I have to level everybody up. Well, actually, hang on. Loot the room. That's gonna be a lot I gotta sort through. I was about to say I felt sorry for him. I thought that went up the butt and out the mouth, but no. It didn't, and thank goodness for that. Okay. I think this is a great place to stop. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the stream. Be back tomorrow evening. I'll stream this again, same time. And, yeah. I'll see you all later. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Good night, everybody.